Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. It is I, Almantas, former professor, current VTuber, old man who loves old things. And joining me today is LCOLONQ, the man of letters.
Hello, it is me. They know me as John Freak primarily on here, but this is I don't know, this is perhaps a different kind of name. Hi, computer. Welcome.
Yes, the man in the computer, the man with the puppet. And yes. So, thank you for joining me, Clonk.
Thank you for joining me. This is welcome to the show.
Well, I suppose so. Yeah, as I was just telling you, I am not as much of a man of computers. I have the level of computer literacy where I can, I can fumble around. I can get myself in trouble.
Well, this is many times more than me, I would say. Even I just press buttons at random, right, and the colors change, and people seem to like it, right? So that's all. I couldn't tell you.
Bug VT, thank you for the follow. It's well, I mean, that's always the problem, right? That's always like the fundamental scientific problem, right? Like, how do you know? How do you know that anything that you're doing is doing anything, right? How do you know that anything you're doing is doing anything? How do you know that it's not just a random correlation and that cause and effect are just lies?
Yeah, who knows? I certainly don't. I think I don't know if I've told you, but I am a pea zombie. I actually do not have any internal life at all.
It's so good to meet a fellow pea zombie. The self-identified pea zombie maneuver. It's a great way to make people really annoyed with you.
This is excellent. Do you mind if I eat and drink really loudly into the mic for the next several hours?
I hope it's not a problem because I do that on my own stream with some frequency.
Wonderful. We will be day drinking.
Every once in a while, people can hear my water bottle make the big clunk. We
know how it goes.
Yes.
So how are you, Almantas VT? How is life?
Life is well here in the Almantas household, in the Manny household. As some people may have heard before, this week was a little bit chaotic for me. Got dental work, got a gas leak. I spent a significant portion of my week, and I live in New York, right? As I often mention, New York is one of the few places in the United States that uses mostly gas heating.
Yes.
It's like one of the few, like most of the country is like 99+% electric. We're one of the few places where it's majority gas.
Yes.
And so this meant like I was doing shenanigans, like microwaving baked potatoes for like 2/3 of my meals, and like using my roommate's electric kettle to make ramen. Just shenanigans, just absolute silly shenanigans to try to get through the week, because I have a streak so far of about 2 years where I haven't eaten out. And I'm trying to keep it up.
Nice.
I'm trying to keep it up.
Yeah.
I'm now competitive. I get competitive about streaks. I get competitive about maintaining my streaks. Subathon has not started yet, Vex. It starts Monday. We're starting Subathon Monday.
Good luck with this. Also, is this the first Subathon?
Yes. It is something that I have been feeling an itch to do for a while, which is not always a good sign, to be honest. Like when I do things just because like I feel like I'm supposed to, it's not always the best move.
I have done only one marathon stream ever, just last year, and it was a truly torturous experience.
I'm probably going to keep. I'm going to be tamping down. I'm using Subathon as the neologism, where it's just anytime you have a reward schedule. I can never. Well, anyway, I don't know if I could bring myself to do it. My detachment from money has given me too many brainworms surrounding these things. But I wish you great success in this endeavor. That's understandable. I'm not there. I am not there yet.
Yes.
I've not yet been untethered from that.
You've not been untethered from. Yeah, of course. Like I as an immortal, I can subsist only on mist and haze from the mountaintop, right? So of course, it's understandable that there are other concerns.
Thank you
for the sub, Mexican Cat.
Yeah, enjoy your tanks. Enjoy your tanks, Clonk.
Yes, wonderful.
I love that little tank emote. But yes, I am not yet untethered. I still must think about how must I make rent.
Yes.
How's to make rent.
of bread and water.
Of bread and water. Of bread and water.
This is good.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I also I think I don't know, like, this is crazy that this is our first time talking ever. I feel like we've known each other for like several decades, and like now it's only.
It's especially funny because I've been only VTubing for a year.
Yeah,
I've been streaming for a year. I wasn't even on Twitch until 2022 at all. I'm like a very Johnny come lately. But yeah, there's like a vibe to it. Like it's one of those things that's always kind of interesting. Like I don't mind talking about back end stuff, behind the scenes stuff with on channel here. Me and COLONQ have talked about trying to do something for like a while.
Yes.
We just like couldn't come up with like an idea. Like we like very easy for me and COLONQ to chat with each other and like have things in common. But it's just like
we're both
like the programming and the history. Like we couldn't quite figure out the intersection where it like really lined up. So
well, we could talk, like, I don't know. We could talk about I hadn't even considered this angle of this intersection, right? When I think of collabs, I have a tiny foolish brain, right? I think like Among Us.
Yeah.
Let's play Among Us, right? Like I have no but we could
it's the kind of it's like the thing that I kind of despise a little bit on I don't know despise, but it's something that feels a little bit of a chafe on me. The like the feeling I sometimes have, like, that I need to continue to game more often just to like create vectors, like to create like an attack surface for people to collab with me and to interact with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't worry. I think I don't know. Here, perhaps well, we're going into spicy takes already here on this VT.
Oh no, I always get
my
real.
reputation. My reputation and yours will be ruined by the end of this. This is potentially disastrous socially. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine. I don't know about you.
Yeah, okay, so the how do you say the I think collabs are I think people look to these very strongly as like a networking tool, as a way. I think they're extremely overrated. I think but I like doing them, but I do them. It's how do you say?
Very sparing.
It's more pleasure than business. Is how it goes for me.
Well, see, I am a consummate. I'm a talker. Right, I'm a talker, and I love the interview. As people often get confused about this, but I need to say it as often as possible. Not a history professor. I did not teach history at the college level. I taught sociology. Interview methods were very much one of those things that I loved. That was why I got into that field, and so I'm very happy to be doing this kind of stuff. I'm just looking for excuses for it, and I've done the kind of like more your narrower mindset of collabs. Your narrower mindset of collabs where it's it's Among Us and Lethal Company and stuff like that, and they didn't tend to go very well for me. I'm not gonna lie. That's like my biggest thing is like
I mean, gaming is fun. We love gaming. Yeah, right? You can't complain.
You can't complain. It's just I need to make it like games that work for me, right? Like that's the thing. Like I've kind of come to around and around on this sort of thing. I'm just like quality above all else. It needs to be quality above all else. I need to be doing a good job on stream, doing a collab that's like all the right things, but like I feel like crap and I'm not doing my best work is not worth it. It's not helpful. Like I should have just not done it. And so like there's plenty of collabs I've done that I've loved, but I've done a couple of collabs where I'm just like, I don't need to do that again. I don't need to, and I don't feel any need to force myself to do like Among Us or something like that. But I do kind of feel the need to like have like some gaming opportunity in there. But it's complicated.
Well, excellent. Let's make it the former category today, Almantas VT, or perhaps the later category if that's more interesting. We could make it we could change. I don't know. Well, anyway, let's.
Yeah, we could have you. You could have me playtest your game. That's an option.
Yes. Although my game, I don't know. Who knows? My games are. They're sort of freakish and malformed in certain ways right now.
You're talking to a guy who like one of my formative games was Stalker. Like
this is good. Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah, I love Shadow of Chernobyl. Modded Shadow of Chernobyl. Where I was like broke extra things.
Oh boy.
I have a high tolerance for Jake.
Classic.
I have a high tolerance.
VT. I'm legally obligated to ask. This is by contract, actually. I'm sorry for not warning you beforehand.
No problem.
Have you played a video game called Void Stranger?
I own it, but I haven't played it yet. It's in my Steam
excellent.
library.
You own it. I don't need to convince. I only need to half convince you then.
The trouble, I'm always struggling. This is actually kind of one of those things I was kind of leading into with talking about gaming on stream. My problem is that I have too many things I want to do on stream.
Yeah.
I have too many things I want to do on stream, and I don't have enough stream hours.
Yes.
Right. Like I know that if I stream more than about 15 to 20 hours in a week, I start getting like weird and like zony and like I'm not fun.
Sure. I would not even recommend streaming this. I would say this will change as a piece of media. This will change the trajectory of your life.
Okay,
It did mine at least.
Excellent.
Right? I think it's maybe the best thing they've ever made on there.
Ooh. Okay, that's strong praise. That's strong praise.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my go-to game that I upsell constantly is the King of Dragon Pass.
Oh yes, I like this one too.
Yeah, okay.
I do like we have the same sort of mindset, Almantas VT.
I will say there's one huge divergence between the two of us.
Yes. What is this?
I don't get Stellaris.
Oh, you don't get Stellaris.
I don't get it. Like I've played quite a bit of it. I've got like 100-something hours in Stellaris, and I'm just like, why am I here the entire time?
To be honest, this is only fun in multiplayer. This is only fun when you can frag, right? Which is originally this is honestly, this ties into, I don't know, some of the themes I would like to discuss today. But like Void Stranger for me was sort of a revelatory moment because it made me realize that single player games can be good. I had lost the love of this. Right?
Okay. I was about to say, like, so you've never played Doom?
Doom?
Yeah, Doom.
Doom, I have not played. I don't play shooters very much. They're too violent. They're too violent. For me.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm kidding. I'm just bad at them.
You got me there. I was like,
yeah, sorry. I love lying. This is anyway. Let's
as they say, it's easy and fun.
Yeah, it is easy and fun. The best. So I had sort of come to a place where like I thought that the fun of gaming came from I don't know about you, Almantas VT, but for me the hot blood burns within frequently, right? Is it the same for you?
The hot blood burns within.
A heating of the blood. This overtakes me often, and I need to frag, right? I need to compete with others.
I am understanding this. Cheryl Jam, thank you for the follow. I am understanding this as a question of, to me that reads like anxiety, what you were describing.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's the I don't know, the spirit of fire or something like this. It's a lightning in the veins.
The passions are roused.
The passions are aroused.
You feel the rainbow in the dark.
And they can only be quelled through combat, I think, through digital combat and cyberspace. This is my main. So for me, like, for all jokes aside, right? A lot of my gaming interest for a while was just like, I don't understand the appeal of something where there's no competition with a human being, right? Whether that's in score
okay.
Yeah.
So this leads me. I have to to help me vocabularize this.
Sure.
Were you ever a Magic the Gathering player?
Oh yes.
Okay. I thought you were.
I was for a long time a very serious Magic the Gathering player.
You know your player archetypes.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to share with the class your understanding of the player archetypes?
Oh yes. So Magic the Gathering does this thing that's slightly silly. It's sort of MBTI-ish, but it broadly is, maybe it holds up decently well of like attempting to design cards by designing for different player psychological profiles. Right. This is the intention, right? And they have, if I'm going to interpret them uncharitably, if I'm going to interpret them extremely uncharitably and make a very spicy take, the typical archetypes, they refer to three players as, I think, how do you say Timmy, Johnny, and Spike.
Yep, those are the three.
And Timmy gets a lot of pleasure out of playing with cards that are bad. This is kind of the main appeal, and Johnny gets a lot of pleasure out of playing cards that are bad but interesting. And then Spike gets a lot of pleasure from playing the game and winning.
Yes, yes. Well, this is more or less accurate. I like the way that Goonhammer reformulated this, because Goonhammer did something very cool with this hypothesis, which is they do war games. They don't really do Magic the Gathering as much.
Yes.
And they did a survey. They did a survey of their user base around what motivates them to play.
Yeah.
And they use this as part of their framework. And the way they put it was that Timmy is there to experience.
Yes.
Johnny is there to express. And Spike is there to prove.
Yes.
That Spike is trying to win, Timmy is trying to engage with the game at a pretty emotional level, and Johnny
Yes.
is engaging with the game at an exploratory level.
Yes.
I am very heavily a Johnny.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Winning is nice, but mostly as a form of experimental results, as a confirmation or denial of an experiment. I want to try out new things. I want to see how they fit together. And once I get to the point in a game where I feel like I've solved the game, I tend to get quite bored with it.
Yes. For me, I am a obsessive, right? This is my engagement with games, right? I approach a game before I even play it. Sometimes I get more pleasure from, I'm a wiki reader, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my I enjoy this, right? When I find a game and I can read the wiki for 10 hours before I play.
Oh,
right?
I do that so much. My really bad habit is if I notice that there's some sort of like optimization, right? Like I play a lot of strategy games, right?
Yes.
And so the questions about like how much does a unit cost, how tough is it, how much damage does it do versus those things, like how those relate to each other. Those are very common questions. When I hit that point in a game, which happens within like 2 hours, the next thing I do is I create a spreadsheet. I start spreadsheeting everything out.
Yes, this is excellent. This is excellent. This is excellent gameplay. Also, I definitely have had a fair bit of time at least tracking my win rates and draw rates of certain cards, right, and all of this stuff. Writing little simulators, and this is.
Oh yeah. The writing the simulators is a very important question. Very important element.
An excellent pastime.
Yes. It's in some ways the better game.
Yeah, I'm definitely for me the game is the game that you can play in your head when you don't have an opponent to actually play with. And so I played a lot of Magic.
Okay. Yeah,
I played Legacy pretty competitively for a number of years.
Boy.
And also in college I sort of turned into a CEDH grinder in the early days of that movement.
I don't know this one at all.
I still like it's just people playing competitive EDH, right? People playing EDH to win for prizes, right? In Magic.
What does EDH mean? I'm sorry, that's what I got.
EDH is probably the most popular format of Magic.
Oh, is it Commander?
And it's Commander. Yes.
Okay, it's Commander. That's a formal name for Commander. Okay.
So playing Commander to win for prizes. And I did this quite a lot. I went to for a long time. I was going to 2 stores a week trying to win pods of Commander. Right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
But yes. No, that's very much. I'm such like an explorer about these things. I want to see how the mechanics fit together. I've not been much of a Magic player, partially because I had very bad experiences with Magic when it was introduced to me. I was introduced to it in the worst way possible, and the other element is that my brain just kind of doesn't work super well with that kind of like legalistic logic. I'm like a numbers cruncher. I am a numbers crunching kind of guy. I prefer more like Warhammer and games like that, where like sitting down and like mathing out how to optimize things. I'm like a Factorio guy. I like Factorio and Opus Magnum.
What's the thing they say? This is actually amusing given what's the thing they say on Twitter? They say shape rotator, right? This is perhaps you're in the business of rotating shapes mentally.
I really am. It's one part of the IQ test I do well on is the visualization stuff. No, I like and like my favorite games are all like Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
nice.
I love the maneuver. I love the moving in the like how do things fit together on like the most optimal math and the most optimal method. But yes, I will say that. So I should say the reason why I had one of the worst ways to be introduced to the game was that the local community that existed. This was all pre-internet. The local community that I was introduced to had been playing several of them since alpha, the majority of them since beta.
Yeah.
And so Ancestral Recall was just like a commonly used card.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is why we have formats. This is why we have formats of the game.
I just had Casual Magic, and it was Casual Magic where like half the players had Black Lotus.
Yeah,
like devastatingly awful format.
What we should do, Almantas VT, we can rectify this. Sure. So there's a format of Magic that I'm quite fond of, also called Old School. And Old School Magic is Magic where you play with decks constructed from cards from I think it's the first 5 sets, right? So Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Arabian Nights, Antiquities, Legends, The Dark Fallen Empires, I think is the roster, something like
Oh,
this.
those are some
right?
bad cards back there.
There are some bad cards and there's some very good cards also back then.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting, and you get to, of course, you play with proxies or whatever, fakes or online, and but it's very classic Magic, right? It's you're playing Lotuses and you're powering off Sarah Angels and Lords of the Pit and things like this. It's great fun.
Very evocative. Very evocative.
I would recommend it strongly.
All right. I have a brother who's very into Magic: The Gathering. And if he's watching, hey, I love you. But also, your way
Hello.
of playing games drives me insane because he tends to play mostly games that make him really mad.
Oh, I see.
Like he gets bored of games that are fun for him, and then he just like plays games that like make him really upset all the time.
It's the craving for stimulus. I can relate to this, right?
Yeah.
I feel like games that make you I don't know. Anger is sort of more persisting than happiness in this. Like the appeal can last.
Well,
like
the sociologist in me wants to point out like the gendered element of it, right? That like
Yes.
anger is such a permitted emotion for men in a way that like almost no other emotion is. So if you have strong emotions in other parts of your life, you seek out anger stimuli.
It can feel good to be mad.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think if you're
For
mad
sure.
about other things, it's good to like you might need to add other stimuli that make you mad just to make that already existing anger feel justified.
Yeah. I think so. There's I think I saw you played Dark Souls on stream.
I did. It was fun.
Right. This sort of has that anger element to it sometimes. Right. This is it's at least it's interpreted that way culturally a lot of the time as a game that makes you mad. Right. How do you feel about that experience?
So actually, as a stream game, I had a great deal of fun with it because I'm very bad at Dark Souls. And so it took me. It took me 100. Actually, I can pull it up on stream. I don't know if you're watching my stream, so you'll be able to see it. Do I have it? We'll have to be on the live side, I guess, or I can just add it. What am I talking about? I have OBS. This is the power. This is the power. Text, add existing. I have so many text sources right now. Death counter. So the death counter is still persistent. Where is it? Yes. As of last time I played, I had died 440 times and gotten 22 kills.
I see.
It took me 100
on foes, right? On bosses. Is this the?
No, this is everything. I'm counting every skeleton.
Every skeleton. I see.
It took me 123 deaths before I got one kill.
Did you finish the game?
No.
Oh, I see.
I got lost and then I stopped playing. I got lost in the woods. And I just stopped playing.
Yes, this will happen.
But
I
remember I was very calm losing to the tutorial boss 100 times in a row, and my chat was mad. My chat was
yes. Those people get very mad about you playing wrong, right? This is it's a game you can play in many ways. People get very mad, not that they're not their way.
Yes. You did get a little bit choppy there, but I hope that it came through. There were. I don't think there's anybody who's super mad at me, but I did definitely have a couple of people in chat being like, "How have you not thrown your controller through the monitor?"
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm just vibing here. I'm just having a nice time talking with chat, playing my game. I do wonder if it would have been different if I had just been playing it, as opposed to streaming it. That's something I think about all the time because when I'm streaming, I've got different goals.
Yes.
I've got I'm in a different headspace than when I'm just gaming. It's people who have played with me in the community games of Overwatch know that I am much more frustrated when I'm not. My psychological defenses against frustration are much weaker when I'm not on the camera. The camera soothes me. It's a soothing balm for my frustration and anger. It takes it out of me.
Because you have other things you have another goal, right? You have another thing to focus on.
Yeah,
right?
I have another goal. I have another thing to focus on.
It's not as important that you're having a tough time in the game.
Yes. It's not even really necessarily the highest priority. The highest priority is making sure that my community feels good. That I'm doing a good job on that front. I think we can start talking about the book because we've talked around fantasy as a topic.
Oh yes, I could talk around fantasy as a topic. This is sort of my thing. I don't know. I like the meta topics.
I love it. I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. I think we'll definitely circle back to it because usually we
Yeah.
spend a little bit of time talking about the book itself, and then
Oh yeah, let's discuss books. Let's get into this.
I will do a quick hellos to my community if you'll tolerate me.
Oh please do.
First
Hello,
of all, as ever,
Almantas' community.
hello to the Seribots. Hello to me. Hello, Sir Alm. Hello, Cat Magician. Hello, Vex. Hello, Nando. Hello, LCOLONQ. Hello, Kotaru Complex. Hello, this one's tricky. Chumisi? Tayumisi?
It's Tayumisi or Tayumichi. I don't know. I always say Tayumichi, but I think it's Tayumisi.
Tayumisi. Hello,
They're
Tayumisi.
a dear friend of mine.
Excellent. I can tell they've got your little your cute little lurky emote. Hello, Bug VT. Hello, Zamiel Payne. Hello, Nikola Rostov. Hello, I'm missing somebody.
Really good friend. There's a lot.
Churl.
I'm seeing
Hello,
a lot
Churl.
of names I know here.
Yes, and hello, Emperor's Armpits, and hello, Blue.
Tayumichi.
Possibly Tiu Mike Chai.
Possible.
But yes. So we're going to be discussing a book called The King of Elfland's Daughter. I am linking it, and I'm going to pin it. The Project Gutenberg, which is how I read it, was via Project Gutenberg. So I don't get the opportunity / obligation to create an Amazon affiliate link to enrich myself by pennies. Instead, you get the free ebook, however you so choose to absorb it. And we can go over to the live. So we have two ways we can kind of talk about this. We're back over on the live.
Hello.
And the first thing would be so I did a little presentation because I am this type of nerd. I did a little presentation about the biography of the author, which we'll go over at some point, or we can go over the plot first.
I have some interesting facts regarding the biography of the author, or at least one interesting fact that I don't know. It may be. I suspect you have not found.
It's entirely possible. I did quick research.
Yes.
I did quick research. I did not do super duper.
I want to have a funny secret. Right? It's a funny. They could call it an Easter egg maybe.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
There's something that I might call an Easter egg in his biography, but would you prefer that we go over? I think we should go over the plot, and then we'll do a very quick plot overview.
Sure.
And so I've put up a slideshow of various covers that this book has had over the years. This book is from 1924. So it is old. People have made many covers of it. Some of them are good.
It's also, of course, public. It's on Gutenberg. It's public, so anyone can publish this, right?
Yeah,
like there's no. It's unencumbered.
It's free. It's liberated. I just grabbed like 15, 20 covers off of DuckDuckGo search.
Yes.
Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are.
There are some
bad.
atrocious ones.
There's one that's real. There's at least two that I think are awful, and like maybe 3 or 4 that I think are truly beautiful. This one that just came up, the one with the Neil Gaiman introduction, I think is particularly beautiful. This blue and orange one.
Yes, this is a nice cover.
It's very good. The plot at a basic level. Do you want to go over it? Shall I?
Can I confess something, Almantas BT?
Yeah.
Can I confess?
Yeah.
I've never even read this, but no, I'm kidding.
That would have been pretty good. Pretty good.
I think it's one of those things, Almantas BT, where I can talk about it, right? But the plot is largely, I think, almost immaterial. Right? But the plot, it sort of presents itself as like an archetypal fairy story, right?
Yes.
It's a story of fairy, right? And it's older, right? So a lot of things are, things that we might take as tropish today are kind of where are in large part due to this book's introduction maybe into. But so here's the basic plot. Here's the gist of it, right? There's a king. There's a king. The king's people come to the king and they say, "We want a magic king instead. We want there to be magic. Everything's the same, right?"
Yes.
So the king tells his son to go to Elfland, right, the land of fairy, the land of of unreal, right, and to marry and return with the king of Elfland's daughter. And a bunch of things happen. The son does this. There's a whole journey, a little bit. The son marries the king of Elfland's daughter. They fall in love. They return. but the king of Elfland sort of wants his daughter back, right? And uses these magic runes in order to make her yearn to return, and eventually she does. And then of course the son of the king, right, is who is now the king, is sort of driven to madness by this almost, right? Goes on this great journey to find Elfland again and retrieve his betrothed, his wife, right? And the king of Elfland keeps pulling it away from him, right? It takes him many years to find it with a merry band of lunatics. All the while, his son back home, you know, kind of is growing into this inevitable magic lord that the people originally foolishly wanted. And at the end of the various things happen, right? There are events, there's resolution of these things to some degree, but at the end, the deciding factor is the king of Elfland realizes the sorrow in the heart of his daughter, and brings the realms of man, the fields we know is, I think, the term they use.
They use it a lot.
Yeah, they use it a whole lot into the world of fairy, and they all live happily ever after in unreality. I think this is the basic gist of it.
That's the basic gist. Yeah, that's a very basic gist of it. I think it's just good to give people a kind of overview of what we're talking about. Like,
and it's told in sort of it's sort of almost the way it's told. It's almost a fable, right? It's almost it's not told in I don't know, how do you say it's not something that's action packed, right?
No,
it's not something that is. It's something that is. It's kind of it's ethereal, right? It's kind of I felt like it was very hypnotic. Was the phrase that I would use. Like I was reading it and I had to like take nap breaks, not because it was boring, but because it just it very much lulls you, right? COLONQ referenced this phrase, "the fields we know." I have the ebook open, so I can do shenanigans like this. That specific set of words, "fields we know," shows up in the book 112 times. Yes,
that's enormous. It's like it's like every paragraph they will use this phrase. It's very sing-songy. It's very it's very deliberately medieval. It's very much a romantic work, and things are often kind of. Things are often talked about in ways that they're very preordained.
Yes,
that they're very, very preordained. That there's that it's very like characters will encounter something and they always already know what the results are going to be.
Yes,
it's like a fairly common thing that happens.
Yes. This is sort of the reason I would say it's not necessarily a plot forward piece of fiction, right? It's the plot is sort of maybe the least interesting element to me, at least, right? It's the things that are interesting about it are things I don't know. It's I don't know, the poetry of it, I guess. It's the writing, it's the prose, right? It's the the way it makes you feel when you read it, right? Which I think is also sort of a theme of it, like in terms of the in like explicit written theme, right? Of kind of almost the power of poetry, the power of song and verse, right? Yes. This is something that comes up again and again.
It comes up again and again, and it does feel very deliberate. That it's about this kind of it's actually kind of interesting to me. Well, when I talk about the biography, this is kind of a note that kind of struck me, was that he doesn't know Tolkien. Oh, no. Asayana, thank you for the raid. I apologize, we are in collab, so it's going to be a fairly short message, but yes, I hope you're having fun with Phasmophobia. Thank you, and welcome in Raiders. Me and LCOLONQ, the man of letters, are...
That's me.
Yes, that's this little guy. This little guy I gave a huge head to. Are discussing a very old fantasy novel. One of the prototypical fantasy novels, from which all other fantasy novels spring. It has some stronger claims than Lord of the Rings in some ways.
Yes.
And welcome in, Kissed by Luck. And this is, but I think I was saying plot, but I think that plot is probably less the question than just like, what are the facts of the book? What
Yeah.
are the
Yes.
textual facts that we have? What is on the
For
written
certain.
page that we need to know? And you hit the core parts. Which is that this is about a non-magical king creating a magical legacy.
Yes.
And the essence of that magical legacy is a oddly kind of tragic one.
Yes.
It's a kind of tragic one because the stated intent of the people of Earl. This is the kingdom in question, Earl. The town, the hamlet, the kingdom, the valley, the whatever of Earl. They keep on switching around. They're not really super worried about giving us particularly consistent world building details.
Yes, these things, and I feel that giving consistent details in this sense would detract from the thing, right? This sort of unreality to it, right? It contributes to the sort of ethereality of it, right? I don't know. I like this.
It is very much intended to be ethereal. It is very, very much intended to be ethereal and surreal. But yes, the kind of end result of all of this is that these people, their stated motivation, I should say, I should let back up there. The Parliament's stated motivation is to become famous.
Yes.
They think that Earl deserves to be known, deserves to be in the history books, and that they can secure this by having a magic king. And the result of them getting a magic king is that Earl is trapped beyond time to become a land unknown to all mortals.
Yes, perhaps it is sort of bittersweet in this sense, but I think it's also how do you say this is not an ill fate necessarily.
That's true.
Right?
This is not an apocalypse, right? This is not a horror story. This is not a tragedy. It's a bit of a fairy tale.
It's a fairy story, yes.
And it's I do think it's kind of interesting that those of us in America often focus very much on like the grim fairy tales. And having Italo Calvino, one of my favorites, if anybody is interested in like RPG rule books and like writing RPG settings and stuff like that, you owe it to yourself to read Invisible Cities by Italo Calvino. He did a translation of Italian fairy tales, and they're quite different, mostly just in the tone that they tend to be more comedies.
Yes.
In the Shakespearean sense, where like things are kind of nonsense, but then everything gets resolved by people getting married.
Yes. This is only moderately related. Are you familiar with I'm going to butcher this. I can't speak Italian. Are you familiar with what is the thing? Commedia dell'arte?
Yes. My roommate's been researching Commedia dell'arte for the last 6 months or so a lot. So it's been a common dinner table conversation.
This is a frequent topic on my thing. I like this. The notion of these sort of common archetypes, right? Mm-hmm. Playing these like acting out these things again and again. This is something that's very, very appealing, right?
Well, the Commedia dell'arte has this really interesting interaction for us in the 21st century, right? Where this is one of those ways that you can shock and horrify fan fiction fans. This relates to fan fiction. This very serious topic of academic discussion and of literary tradition relates very much to fan fiction. And
who knows what's serious at the end of the day?
Of course.
It's all serious.
Genuinely, I am planning a video essay on why genre fiction readers should start giving literary fiction a try, because the literary fiction guys don't actually hate genre fiction. They don't actually care. They will read sci-fi and fantasy. They don't care. They are not the snobs you think they are.
This is relevant to my own story with this book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Majorly.
Elaborate.
Hugely. Well, I mean, this is sort of why this book is important to me. Because it made me start reading for pleasure again. It made me start reading things like I guess you would say genre fiction again.
Yeah.
I think I'm a as you know Almantas VT. I'm a notorious snob, right? LCOLONQ, synonymous with snobbery online. This is true, right? I'm at least for and I think we've discussed my blood burns hot.
Yeah.
at least for a time in my life as a young man, many decades ago, I was in, I had the urge to, if I'm going to be reading books, I'm going to read the best books only, right? And I'm only going to discuss the best books, right? Yes, it's a dangerous game. And I think this, for a while, almost killed reading for me. I used to love to read when I was very young, and then I enjoyed a lot of the fiction I read when I was in this phase of only reading literary fiction, right? Only reading the Joyces and the Nabokovs and the right.
Nabokov's an incredible writer. Joyce is an incredibly joyful writer.
Yes, I love them. I still some of my fondest the things I've read that I've loved the most come from that era. But I think the thing that cut me out of it was this book. Because I realized I could just like things. Like I could just like things. Like I could just read this and like, damn, this is good, and like I like it, and like there's nothing to be embarrassed about liking things. It's been a theme of growth for me over the years has been learning to be like not as much of a mask in public, right? Learning to be something that is not just designed to present the perfect image, right? Trying to be genuine, trying to be sincere a little bit about things, right? Like I was honestly considering to go along with this theme of volunteering something far more embarrassing, like something like hypothetically embarrassing, something like a work of fan fiction or something like this, because I wouldn't be embarrassed by it anymore, right?
I am waiting for somebody to do that. Right, I am waiting for somebody to do that. Also, hello, welcome in colonoscopy, and thank you for the follow. There's actually like an inspiration point for me doing this series. It took me a while to get around to making it, but there was a tweet by Vividly Vivi, where she refers to Watamote as life-changing.
Yes,
and this is part of why I make it a book that changed your life and not your favorite book. Or your most important book, or what book would you recommend to everybody? I want it to be much broader and much more abstract than that.
Yes.
And,
yes.
And I want people I want people to come at this from all sorts of weird angles. And I like the personal angle of it. I like knowing people. I like meeting and knowing people.
I mean, this is for me. This is certainly not my favorite book. It's certainly not I don't even know if I would recommend this necessarily to everybody. This is it's a book for me that is extremely like I have a debt of gratitude to this, right? Because now I read all kinds of shit all the time, right? I feel like I was limiting my horizons until this kind of shocked it out of my system.
Well, I think it's very important to read broadly, honestly. Like when I talk about doing like that video essay about like trying to get genre fic people to read lit fic, it's mostly because I want people to read more broadly.
Yes.
I notice a lot of people who are really into lit fic really pigeonhole themselves.
They pigeonhole themselves. They are a fantasy reader, right? They're a science fiction reader, right? This is unfortunate, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I agree.
You might be shocked by what you learn and enjoy when you go more broadly. And I notice in myself that I tend to have a little bit of a pendulum swinging thing where I don't tend to notice that I've gotten myself into a rut until I'm pretty bored and annoyed.
Yeah,
like I'm already like 2 to 3 books deep into a rut of like reading stuff that I don't really care for before I realize like I need to switch it up. And it's interesting to see how this turns out for people. Like I'm actually a nonfiction guy a lot of the time. I actually really like nonfiction.
I end up reading a lot of nonfiction as well, but it's mostly math.
Fair enough.
Mostly math.
Unsurprisingly for me, it's a lot of history, and to me, the phrasing I tend to use is that the whole kind of point of fiction is that whether or not it's true is kind of irrelevant.
Yeah,
that's kind of the whole point of it. And there's something meaty about somebody staking the claims in their book on the question of like whether or not it's true.
Yeah.
There's something meaty about it.
Meaty in the how do you say? What's a good? It's meaty in the fighting games sense.
Yeah.
Isn't that a term in fighting games? A meaty.
I'm not a fighting gamer, but I think it is. Mora, thank you for the gift sub to Wande. Thank you very much for that. That's very kind of you. But yes, I tend to kind of have these waves, and like I was kind of I was kind of stuck in a rut of I was reading too much nonfiction, and then I finally picked up a bunch of Le Guin.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's courtesy of Wande. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mura. I misread the grammar on that one. Courtesy of Wande. I thought it was a to Wande.
Thank you, Wande.
Thank you, Wande. Yes, but thank you for checking in anyway, Mura. You have the bookshelf, the partially filled bookshelf. But yes, this is one of those things I just in general recommend that you switch things up, that you change things up. And this book, when we're about to go into ads in a few minutes.
Sure.
We've got a few more minutes, but then when we come back, I'll probably talk about the biography, and then I enjoyed this book. I want to be clear.
Yes.
This is one of those things where like online being on Twitter and such has ruined my brain.
Yes.
Where if I'm talking to people outside of online, I know I can just say, "Oh yeah, I saw this, I liked it, but here's like all the things I thought were wrong with it."
Yeah.
And there are people like, oh, online, everybody's like, oh, you're just like a huge hater. It's like, no, that's not really the point. That's not really the point. I'm engaging with it and I'm taking things from it. And
yeah, well, I mean, what's even the, you know, I mean, I think it's fine if your takeaway is like, damn, this was good, right? Like, I think for me, a lot of things, I've sort of become more of a this is another trend of mine, becoming a bon vivant, an enjoyer of I don't know, simple pleasures.
You've become more sensorial. More
I'm some would say a hedonist.
Yeah, hedonistic. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yes.
I used to have only disdain for this in my younger days, and now I like, I don't know. I like when the book makes me feel good. But
I can't get away from the pull. I must confess my truth. My truth is that there's the pull to take it seriously, the pull to do serious literary analysis, to take it.
I'm too foolish for this. I have my foolish nature. My
you gesture genes.
What are these clown archetypes? My whatever clown best represents me. This is I can only do this. I can only fill this role.
They love the 5 frames per second model.
Thank you. It is actually 10 FPS.
It's great. I'm into it.
Yes. Thank you.
But yes, it's there's something that's this novel in particular. Like I said, my biggest thing that I felt while I was reading was, again, it felt very hypnotic to me. You know, it's very much like. There's dreaming. There's a lot of references to dreaming. There's a lot of repeated phrases over and over again. There's a lot of really repetitive phrases, and one of those things that I feel like I always have to be careful about when I talk about is, I shouldn't even say careful. I feel like there's a need for precision. There's a need for precision here. That the repetition is not always bad.
Yes.
Repetition is a literary technique that can be used very effectively. Yes. It can also be used very ineffectively. It's actually a kind of dangerous writing technique. It is a sharp sword within the field of writing. You can hurt yourself quite badly with it, but you kind of need to use it particularly because I tend to write a lot of like polemical and educational stuff. And so you need to repeat things or else everybody loses track of what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah,
like you can't just write straight through with one singular narrative. Even math has to occasionally recapitulate and be like, okay, here's what the actual objective is here.
Yes.
Like, here's the proof we're trying to work on. But this one does a very good job. This one does a very good job of using the repetition strategically to emphasize tone. Yeah, exactly.
There's sort of a current to it, right? There's like this kind of like rhythmic sort of current that goes through the whole thing, right? Because it's not very long, also, right? It's
not super long.
It's a short little book, and I don't know. It is. I think hypnotizing is a good word. I don't know. It has this, like, you know, this sort of what's the thing you say, like hypnotic reinforcement, right?
Yeah,
it's almost the repetition, right? Like
yes.
This is like it's repeating the same phrases over and over again, and like there's also kind of a stylistic use of extremely long sentences.
Yes.
Right. This is very common, and it kind of reinforces this also, right? Where you sort of get like wound up into a thing, right? Like so I recorded one section, right, from early on, right?
We are getting hit by ads. So
yes,
we will talk
okay.
about the recording in a minute. So viewers, this is your time to make some tea or hot cocoa. I'll see you soon. And we're back. And we're back. Welcome back. Welcome back to chat.
Hello.
So you were saying that you recorded one of these sentences.
Or I didn't.
Yeah.
I wrote something down. Right.
Mhm.
That's like one sentence that is, I think, relatively typical of this book. Right. Which is as follows. Nobody can tell you about that sword all that there is to be told of it. For those that know of those paths of space on which its metals once floated, till Earth caught them one by one as she sailed past on her orbit, have little time to waste on such things as magic, and so cannot tell you how the sword was made. And those who know whence poetry is, and the need that man has for song, or know any one of the 50 branches of magic, have little time to waste on such things as science, and so cannot tell you whence its ingredients came. This is sentence one, right?
Yeah.
Enough that it was once beyond our earth and was now here amongst our mundane stones, that it was once but as those stones and now had something in it such as soft music has. Let those that can define it, right? This is just like the sort of like, it's very like, okay, clause, semicolon, like
yes.
it's very like
yes.
waves overtaking you, right? This
yes.
is the hypnotism of it.
Yeah, I as a semicolon appreciator, I was pleased by quite a few of these sentences.
Yes.
I just opened to a random sentence about a third of the way into the book, and it's got 1, 2, 3 semicolons, and two comma separators. Like it's they're going hard on this stuff.
It's unconventional, right? And I think it's nice in that it's both unconventional and it's done well. Another book of I would say, I don't know, genre science fiction, fantasy fiction that I like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but has a sort of a stylistic choice, sort of maybe a similar, a more heavy stylistic choice, but in a similar vein that does it much worse. Is there's a book called, are you familiar with The Nightland by William Hope Hodgson?
I'm not.
It's also this book was written, I think, in a similar. I'd have to look it up. A similar time to this one, maybe a bit later. And it was during one of the world wars, I think, or around then. And intentionally, the author adopted like what he thought was this extremely like archaic style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this is writing like it's I don't know, like it's medieval almost, right? It's kind of medievalized. This is and it's done poor. It's not great. It's not great. The book is still wonderful, but it's like it's kind of like this like funny awkward artifact of it, right?
Yes.
That it's written in this way. So sometimes it doesn't land, but in this one, for me at least, it lands. These sort of unconventional choices, right? This kind of like the prose poetry of it kind of lands nicely, right? This is what I'd say. I'm sure it's not for everyone, but for me, it really hits it right in the center of where I the things that I like.
Yeah, no, this is very much a book of texture.
Yeah.
Over structure.
Yes.
The structure of it is very much a fairy tale structure, and there's not a lot that is going to really throw you and surprise you, I think, in the structure.
Yes, not at all.
To be honest, though, the thing that most kind of surprised me as a structural thing is that our king, our protagonist, Alvarek, doesn't really seem to like his wife very much.
No, yes.
He seems to like her a lot more whenever she's not around.
Yes, there's quite a lot of little bits of it that are kind of very. I don't know. A lot of it is presented in sort of a. I don't know. There are funny modern things to it, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Of course, it's not actually like a like there's little pieces of it, and you see like, oh, that's what they were going for, something kind of amusing in this way here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the discussion of science in a few places, like in that thing I just read, right? Like there's kind of like largely it's written in like this very like medieval fairy tale kind of style, but there's some like almost anachronisms that make you really like, oh, this is I think that's one, right? Because it's not a fairy tale romance, right? It's hardly even a romance really at all, right? It's a it's well, of course it is in form, I guess, but that's not really the motivating element.
It's not a romance novel in like the small R sense, where like the romantic love between characters is particularly important.
Certainly. And I don't even think it's in a sense to like in the sense of like some of these things where it's like trying to portray some picture of courtly love or something like this, right? Like that's really a yeah.
I do think though that it's very much a romance in the literary history sense of being very invested in the Romantic movement.
Oh, for sure, for
Very
sure.
investigative.
It is a romantic novel, right? This is true.
I think that this might be the segue I was looking for doing the little biography of the author, because this might help clarify some things.
Certainly.
So I did a little biography of the author. The author is Lord Dunsany. Dunsany, I think, is actually how you pronounce it. I don't think it's. I think it's Dunsany. I don't really read IPA very well.
Yes, Edward Plunkett.
Yeah, very long. Actually, quite a long name. Actually, quite long name. Edward John Moreton Drax Plunkett.
The 18th Baron Dunsany.
Yeah, quite a bit going on here. So he was born in the late 19th century, and he died in the 1950s in Dublin, interestingly, of appendicitis. And so this is his most famous work, but he wrote a ton of fantasy fiction and poetry. This is him probably in the middle of his age. This looks to me like a 30s era photo, but it's a little bit hard to tell because these British formal wear costumes can be a little bit tricky, right? They can be a little bit tricky. It's a little bit. I'm not good enough to tell like decade versus decade.
Yes.
And so here's some things. Obviously, his name, as the 18th Lord Dunsany tells you, he's a noble. He's very much an aristocrat, and this is an old barony. This is an old noble title. It goes back to the mid 1400s. It's one of the oldest feudal titles still held in Ireland. That's still going. I'm confused about the legality of what's going on, because it's not like in Northern Ireland. Like this is like in the center of Ireland.
Yes.
Where this is, so I just like don't get it. And I think the old castle Dunsany is, I think it's still available as like a tourist attraction. I think it's like a museum.
It's like a museum kind of thing now.
I think, but still there. And there is a 21st Lord Dunsany. Like there's still another Lord Dunsany who's like around, and his photo on Wikipedia, I could have taken it, but it's an extremely normal photo. He just looks like an extremely normal, like mid 20s, 30s year old man. He just looks extremely normal for being alive today.
Yes.
And like I said, extremely Ryoga 0815, thank you for the ball. He's been around for a long time. This title's been around for a long time. And unsurprisingly, right, British aristocrats are military aristocrats, right? That's their thing. He served in the British Army in the Second Boer War, World War I, World War II, and, importantly for some things that I'm going to say later on in our discussion, the Easter Uprising and the Irish War of Independence. So these are both two different events. So the Easter Uprising happens in 1916, and the Irish War of Independence goes from 1919 to 1922. The Easter Uprising, I find this kind of almost amusing. There were only like 500 British casualties in the Irish Uprising. Less than 400 British soldiers were injured. He was one of them, and he got shot in the head. Did not kill him. He went on to continue to serve in World War I as an infantry officer, which remarkable that he not only survived World War I, but got more injured during the Easter Uprising, which is only 5 days long.
Which is wild.
Yeah, yes. just kind of more one of those things of like, coincidence can be a hell of a thing. Like luck can just be a hell of a thing, you know, very much the vibes of like...
Sometimes you just survive getting shot in the head in an extremely minor, like not extremely minor conflict, but like a relatively low casualty conflict, and then survive World War I unscathed.
Yeah, baffling. And during the Irish War of Independence, this was kind of confusing, and I think it's intentionally so. There was a parliamentary act that allowed courts in Ireland to like circumvent 90+% of the due process of the British court system. And under that, he got tried, charged, and convicted for possession of firearms, and got fined like £25. I don't know if this means anything, to be honest. Like he was serving in the British Army during this the Irish War of Independence. I don't know if it means anything that he was court-martialed for possessing civilian firearms in illegal fashion.
Yes.
I have no idea. Maybe he just pissed somebody off. and they tipped him off. But yeah, the Easter Uprising is very short and very unsuccessful. It's kind of like a minor theater of World War One. The Irish War of Independence is much bloodier, much more protracted, still much less bloody than the Irish Civil War, which he does not participate in. Because he's British, like he sticks on the British side of this conflict.
Yes,
he's Anglo-Irish, as they say, but he sticks on the Anglo side when push comes to shove.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about his politics because I think that they do tell us something here.
Yes.
And so I don't think this should surprise anybody. He's conservative. He's a conservative guy. I don't think this should be particularly shocking to like any of the things that I've said so far.
There probably aren't too many 18th barons who aren't.
There's probably not too many 18th barons who are super liberal. There are more liberal ones, but not like there's going to be a tendency here. His family was a conservative family, even by the standards of Irish aristocrats, Anglo-Irish aristocrats. And I just find it kind of interesting to go down the list of like his known associates and friends that it included Yeats, Irish poet Yeats, who just
Yeats,
just an open fascist. Seemed to go in and out of it with his mood, but he was definitely just like he was a fascist. And Rudyard Kipling, one of the most conservative men of the entire 20th century. But I don't know how much this really tells you because I've listed a couple of the other people he was friends with. George William Russell, who has really confusing politics. George Bernard Shaw, who is all over the damn place, and Oliver Gogarty, who's actually pretty straightforward. He's a Sinn Féin founder. Sinn Féin founder. Sorry,
these were tumultuous political times.
These are tumultuous political times,
regardless of anything. Right? Yeah. This is an era of metamorphosis.
This is an era of metamorphosis for sure, and it's pretty easy in the looking backwards, because this is how the battle lines actually got drawn out when the guns got drawn, that there was a political debate between Irish Republicans and Unionists.
Yes.
There's people who want Ireland to continue to be part of the United Kingdom, and there's people who think that Ireland should be an independent country. George Bernard Shaw is a particularly confusing person in this because he's a socialist. He's a founder of the Fabian Society, which is a socialist organization, but he's also a unionist. He thinks that like the path to socialism includes Ireland being an indivisible part of the United Kingdom, and he viewed the Irish independence as a disaster on like left-wing grounds, which is weird, which is a surreal, which would not. There's a part of me that's like, well, there's no reason why you couldn't say that, but the way that history shook out, that's a very unusual, very uncommon.
Again, these are times of metamorphosis, and hindsight is 2020.
Hindsight is 2020, and things that a lot of the individuality that defines people and defines political moments and defines how we relate to the world gets shaved off.
Yes.
By the sands, it gets sanded down by time.
It's difficult to meaningfully reduce people to paragraphs. Right? People are complex.
And Dunsany, for his own part, doesn't seem to have left any particularly scandalous, inflammatory, or heavily cited political stances.
Yes, he comes across as someone almost who is. I mean, this is sort of the luxury of aristocracy.
Yeah.
Right. This is the luxury of noble life in the sense that he's almost detached from this, right?
Yeah,
he's politically detached. He cares more about chess and hunting, right?
Yes. He wants to play chess. He wants to hunt. He wants to write fantasy novels. He wants to hang out with other Irish writers and be part of the foreground of the Irish literary revival movement.
Yes.
That's what he's much more invested in, and I've included this portrait of him just because I think it's a kind of beautiful portrait.
Yes,
I just
he's very handsome is the other thing.
Yeah,
right?
he's a very good looking man. Yeah,
I'm a straight man, but he's very handsome.
He is very good.
I think it's very easy to recognize.
Yeah, this is a very good portrait of him. I mean, we can see this younger portrait of him. Just a solidly good-looking man. He was fortunate on that one. Not everyone gets it.
There's something about it. It's sort of an enchanted life, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of a you know, like it like his I don't know, like this is maybe a strong statement, but his life is to some degree fantastic, right?
That's true.
Like
That's
it's
true.
which maybe lends itself to this mode of thinking, right? Like
Yeah.
he's detached from worldly concerns to some degree, right? He of course he fought in wars and things like this, but it seems like, you know, he I mean, he was severely wounded but recovered, right?
Yeah.
Recovered successfully, was not maimed, right?
Yeah.
It was like, and largely was able to just attend to his hobbies, right? This is an enviable life even, and a life detached from the fields we know, perhaps.
Yes, that's true.
You
That's
might
true.
even say.
Well, I mean, you kind of see it actually come through in how, Alvaric, more so than Orion. Orion,
Yes.
the younger king, but Alvaric, the middle king,
Yes.
is often, they often emphasize that he's kind of apart from everyone else, and like
Yes.
when everybody in his camp goes to bed, he goes to bed, and everyone else in his camp still has to like cook and clean and keep
Yes.
watch, and he gets to just retire. And
Yes.
it's an interesting series of differences, and it seems these kind of natural differences of class that to an American feel strange and
Yes.
alien feel very natural to Dunsany,
Yes.
and are very much a natural part of the natural order of his writing. That like
Yes.
you just know who the aristocrats are, and they just come and go as they please, and get to just simply do what they want. They are not.
Yes. Orion is a magic king.
Yeah, Orion's
right?
a magic king.
The people wished for the magic king, and this is
Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of angles you could analyze it from this
Yeah.
perspective. I think this is an interesting line of inquiry for sure.
I think that there's a particular line of inquiry that hits me with talking about this. And I think this is something I think is just important to know, because I was not familiar with this work before you tuned me into it.
Yes.
You introduced me to this. So works that he cited as influences. Herodotus is a big one. The King James Version of the Bible. This is a specific quote from Dunsany himself. This turned my thoughts eastward.
Yes.
And that struck me because one of those things that we didn't, like, it's a small detail, but I think it's a little bit valuable here, that when they talk about Elfland, it is always to the east.
Yes.
It is to the south and east. It is to the south and east, and that's like what people are saying. Like, why would you go south and east? The people who are incurious are saying, why would you worry about what is south and east when you could go north and west? And our heroes are pulled eastward.
Yes.
Eastward is mysterious. Eastward is confusing.
It's beyond
and alien.
the fields we know.
It's beyond the fields we know. In a way that north and west are not.
Yes. Yes.
He cites European fairy tales, and like some of the older ones, but also Andersen and Poe. Hans Christian Andersen and Poe. Heroic romances, which I've highlighted because they're so heavy.
Yes.
Like I think that even if you're not very familiar with anything else, like this one jumps out and slaps you while you're reading.
Yes, right off the riff here.
Right off the riff here, yeah. And it goes with, I must mention, because this was a lot of what I say colonialism a lot, very heavily. So the Orientalist angles to me felt they felt non-obvious when I was reading, but looking backwards, I can see where they're coming from.
Yes.
I can see where they're coming from, and so some authors that have cited Dunsany, interestingly, Tolkien. Interestingly, Tolkien specifically cited him. Not too surprisingly, Lovecraft and Howard have explicitly cited him as a major influence. Lovecraft in particular feels very obvious.
Yes, it feels like a lot of the early pulps, excuse me.
Yeah,
the early pulps. A lot of the early pulp stuff, right? Like Howard, obviously. What's another? Clark Ashton Smith, definitely. In the poetic style of the writing. This is sort of how I stumble upon this, or I was aware of it through people discussing pulps, right? This is kind of my route to like even knowing about this in the first place. It's like this is kind of the pulp in some way. It's the inspiration for a lot of that stuff.
Well, it's kind of interesting that I think this is like in terms of literary history, there's something to be said for like the pulps are kind of they kind of take a lot of higher middlebrow stuff and then repackage and reorient it towards like an American audience and put into a kind of more disposable format as a rule,
Yeah.
because like it's short stories in these quarterly publications.
Yes, I'm a great fan of the pulps now.
Oh,
of course,
yeah.
this I would never have touched them before go. This was kind of my bridge to them, right?
Oh, interesting.
Like I sort of knew these things existed, and I sort of found this, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. This fits my snobbish tastes, right? And then from there, I was like, oh, damn, these things are actually good, right? Like Robert Howard, this is actually, I kind of like this a little bit. This is actually a little bit nice.
Howard's actually pretty fun. I like Howard.
Yeah, I like Howard. I like Clark Ashton Smith a whole lot. I read a lot of Lovecraft. I don't love them as much. I think they're a little repetitive, but they're good for what they are, for sure.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of good in that era.
Smith also cites. Smith also cites. I didn't grab Smith. There's actually a quote from Lovecraft of, "There are my Poe pieces and my Dunsany pieces."
Yes.
And so Guillermo del Toro has specifically cited. Vance and Moorcock, I think, are fairly obvious, huge citations.
Yes,
huge ones.
Vance in particular, very close to this.
Very close to this. I've highlighted Clark here, because even if you're like, Clark is an author who, once you start seeing his fingerprints on things, it becomes like a little bit overwhelming. He's almost like a kind of master key to understanding genre fiction, because Clark was the editor of genre fiction. Like, he was the gatekeeper of getting published in genre fiction for years, for many years, for much of the middle of the century, and his influence on the field is really difficult to overstate. And just to make sure that nobody misunderstands me on this one, for good and for ill.
Yes.
Clark was not a nice person, and he definitely made decisions about who gets published on, frankly, bigoted grounds. More than once. So this is not always a good thing that Clark was such an institution. Definitely a lot of women were kept out of the field by Clark, like specifically by him being a misogynist. So, but yes, and this is one of my favorite ones, was Le Guin talked about Dunsany.
Yes.
And she calls Dunsany the first terrible fate that awaiteth unwary beginners in fantasy.
So true.
So true.
Actually.
So true. Yeah, like you get it instantly.
Yes.
And so you just to spell it out, because I'm the teacher here, right? I like being the teacher here. She means that a lot of early fantasy writers, more so I think during her time than today. I think today it'd fall into different traps, but when she was writing, a lot of people tried to imitate Dunsany.
Yes.
And that's a bad idea.
That is a road fraught with peril.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. This is the kind of, it's like because, like, I think a large degree of it, right, is because it's this ethereality that we discussed earlier also, right? Like this plays a role in this, right? It's a work that is like, the stuff that he wrote is not carried by plot, right? It is, I think it's like, if I were to start off as a fantasy author right now, I've had aspirations toward this, or writing fiction in general, right? I would want to write a good solid little work with a nice little plot, right?
Yeah.
And something that is like, it's how do you say not like something like The King of Elfland's Daughter. It feels kind of like, oh, I can do this, right? It's a short little book. It's an easy little story, right? Like, it's
goodness.
But the devil is in the details with things like this, right? Like, it's that hypnotic aspect can easily turn into like, oh my god, this is such a drag. This is so repetitive.
It's a very careful balance. Is very difficult.
It's hard to sell your as a beginner to sell your thing on prose, right? I think there are easier things to hunt after.
Yes, I agree. There's the craft of writing is a difficult road, and there is something to be said. There's a merit in reading and rereading favorite authors and paying attention to what they're doing at a technical level. The things that Dunsany is doing very successfully are very subtle.
Yes.
They're very, very subtle. So they're very, you're not going to get the same effect if you just like copy sentence structures, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to get the same effect at all, and it's going to make your, like you said, it's going to make your work very boring. Like you're going to doom yourself to making things that are boring slogs.
Yes.
If you don't understand the sort of subtler magic that Dunsany is pulling off here.
Yeah, there's a poetry to it. Right?
Yeah, there's a poetry.
Yeah.
And if you only learn it via prose, you're going to miss it. You're going to fail to understand it. And I just think this is a fun note. There's a concept album based on
yes.
it, which has Christopher Lee, fellow war veteran Christopher Lee, and he's done a couple of these concept albums. Apparently, this one's not very good. I haven't listened to it.
I also have not listened to it.
Yeah, very 70s.
I don't like music in general, so I can't comment.
Fair enough.
This thing the kids are all listening to, this music. I can't stand it. I can't stand this music thing.
Plato has entered the chat.
Yes.
But and you've already seen it because I put it in the scroll. This is just the worst. This cover's awful.
Yeah. This is horrendous.
This is dreadful.
Yeah. Because I mean, you can publish the book yourself. Like you could go publish this right now, right? It's in the public domain, right? You have as much right to it as anyone on earth, and you can make your own funny little cover and put it on Amazon. And a lot of people do.
And they very much favor these insular scripts for the cover art.
Yes.
That's very common. Me as the calligraphy guy, I notice it like very blaring.
Yes.
Very blaring, but that one's absolutely dreadful.
Yes.
So now we'll go back to getting to see tons of different ones in sequence.
Oh my god, this one's maybe worse in my eyes.
This one's the second worst one to me.
Yes.
This one's like early 2000s CGI, and that one was like
the 3D render, like a Pokemon card style 3D render.
Yeah, absolutely. This one's pretty good.
Those are charming, but this one is this one's not bad. I think in general, like it's I don't know. I like a thing like this. It's best with just a plain color, a plain color, and just some text. Right. This is the ideal thing here.
I think there's some of these that this one I kind of like for being very 70s.
Yes.
Like it's very aggressively 70s.
This is the cover that I have. Right?
Okay.
This is the. And I do like this one a little bit because it's a little more abstract, right?
Yeah.
I feel like anything very concrete and focused on details, right? It's contradictory with the thing, right? Like the whole thing is not focused on details. It's like this wispy, like diaphanous thing, right? Like it doesn't want to be defined by like it's a pretty woman.
Yeah.
Like
this was my favorite, I think.
Yeah,
this one's my favorite. I'm a sucker for these things. These highly abstracted things. I can actually see like references to things that are happening in the story in this that are kind of intriguing. Like the trees that are living and like get unlivinged but not dead by the magic sword. But and this is another one that I think works.
Yes.
This is more we should be going for. You should be going for a strange, I think. Rather than just beautiful, but like this is very 18th century, very strange.
Yeah. If I had to throw up a copy of this on Amazon or on Kindle or whatever, I'd be grabbing some paintings. I would grab like some Hieronymus Bosch or something. Or I would grab there's that one painting.
This was the cover I had, by the way. This one. Which is not good. This is a bad cover.
Yeah, this is not good. This does not capture the thing at all.
Yeah.
There's that one painting of Oberon and Titania.
Oh, that's a good choice. That's
another one that's maybe good. Just something that is like of fairy, right? You know, it's not about knights, right? Like,
no, it's and as Blue points out that this is a also hello Hoopter. As Blue points out, there's a challenge here in designing it. Like here we've got like this is a classic pulp cover from the 80s 90s. This is just it's fine.
I like it better than the CG, but like
it's better than the CG. It's better than the CG just because like there's a love that goes into drawing the ferns.
It's a beautiful image and it's well rendered and it's yes.
But it's also very much like Airport, and this is the one that Wikipedia prefers. Just what you said, COLONQ, just text.
Yes.
Just text.
Yes. This is the ideal. I don't know. I like this for. I'm easily visually overstimulated. Almantas VT.
Oh yeah.
I prefer. You know, I'm a text guy, right? That's my thing, right? I like text. I would rather this.
I guess that kind of gets us back onto track here. Of There are only a couple more. This one's just bad. This one's whatever. Like whatever. Generic fantasy.
Oh yeah, this is horrible. Also,
it just means nothing.
The rust on the shield makes it look like pierced skin, which is very.
I think they're trying to reference the one time somebody dies on screen. Yes. I think they're trying to reference that, which is a weird scene to me. That scene was weird to me, mostly in the sense that like another classic airport fiction book cover. Like our Alveric kills some dudes, and the our elf princess is just like, wow, that's hot.
Yeah,
it's like, is that reasonable? That feels like a weird reaction.
I think it captures the unreality of the thing.
That's true. That's true. She's very weird about it. She's very weird about death in particular. She's like, very weird about
a fairy should be strange, right? A fairy should not bend to mortal whim, I think.
As they highlight, she laughs at funerals. They do highlight that repeatedly. She laughs at funerals. That she's not the most sensitive to the concept of death. Very sensitive to aging, which I think is interesting, right? I think it's interesting that she's sensitive to aging but not sensitive to death. And it's it's interesting, right? There's definitely a challenge, right, to designing this kind of cover art, as Blue points out. It's design picks either a visual or typography to convey the concept meaning. It's a difficult art form. This one's bad just because it's unreadable. I kind of like the visual thing underneath it, but like, I like the abstract visuals. But yeah, it's a very abstract book, and to get back on track, like I said 5 minutes ago before I got distracted by pretty pictures, the thing that kind of hits me with thinking about this as a book, right, is I think it kind of needs to be a book. Oh, by the way, this is one of my favorite covers, just like the mushrooms.
This is great. Also,
this is great. This is one I was waiting for. Probably my second favorite. But the thing that kind of hits, but like this kind of needs to be a book because I felt like this pulled me into the unreality of it all much more effectively than any movie or video game I've ever.
This could not be sensibly adapted as I think almost anything else, right? It would by in the same sense that this cover makes it is weird, right? A movie would be weird entirely for the same reason, right? You can't portray like how do you portray the land of fairy? Oh, you put some funny Northern Lights style visual effects on it. Like this is not like your own imagination does a far better job than like this could it's impossible, right? I think
it's impossible. I find that to be frequently true. Right, I find that to be frequently true with things that the things that a lot of very good books are just really defy the just even the power that that movies and TV shows and video games have, and I've developed a bit of a. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, like, I wouldn't say, like, I think I'm a great fan of movies and video games. I think they have a lot of artistic power. I think some things can be adapted successfully, right? Sometimes not in their entirety, but sometimes a kernel of the thing that is good can be translated and laden with other good things and put on the screen. Yes. But I think here, everything that is good about The King of Elfland's Daughter are the bits that are not feasible to adaptation, right? They are the bits that are not the plot. It's like trying to adapt a movie to a book, and the things that are good about the movie are not the plot of the movie. It's like the shot composition, right? It does not translate, right? It does not.
I think that the fact that Del Toro lists this as like a major influence to him is one of those things I think is actually very useful. Because I think Del Toro would probably be one of the best positioned directors.
Yes.
To do so, but I think it's kind of telling that he not only has not attempted to, has not even like intimated that he would want to attempt to. Right? Yes. He has not even hinted at that as a serious option. And this is just kind of hot take from me. I don't think it's hot, but apparently it's a hot take. I don't think that adapting something elevates a work.
I mean, I don't think this is a hot take at all. I think adapting something often, like this is rarely does even. I'm not a fan of adaptations in general, I would say.
I think that there are places where people have done it pretty well, but I think your priority in making a movie belongs more on making a good movie.
You should make a good movie.
You should make a good movie, and if you can make a good movie that's an adaptation of something else, who am I to stop you? But I don't think that's...
Sometimes it makes it harder, not easier. I don't think it's a shortcut to making a good movie to adapt a good book. I think that makes it harder to make a good movie, maybe. But
I think it often does. This is one where it'd be particularly bad. There's a couple of writers I can think of where I'm like, you should not try. And like I don't know about Dunsany's other work, but certainly this one I don't think should be adapted.
It's similar. It is similar. It would also be very difficult to adapt.
I think anything by Anna Kavan would be awful to adapt. Yes. I think House of Leaves should not be adapted. That would just suck.
That's just the form of it can't be like the. I think I'm a bit of a hater of the Lord of the Rings adaptations as well. For the same reason.
I think that they're okay. I'd hesitate to identify myself as a hater, but I'm definitely not an enthusiast.
I think they are okay action movies for sure. In a vacuum, I have nothing against them, I guess. I think they definitely fail to capture the mood of that book, and I think
they're lesser works than the books.
Yeah,
and lesser works than they would have been.
They're a different sort of thing, right? And I think I sort of regret how they've sort of skewed the perception of the book culturally, right? It's something that is about fighting and about
that's something that happens all the time. It's a very fascinating thing, and one of the ones that I found really fascinating over the years, like to talk about what I think is the fantasy novel looming over us all perpetually, that is looming over our heads. And when I said I think that people would be copying other works, right? If you have a young fantasy writer today who is going to be copying somebody else. I think the one that they would be copying would be Harry Potter.
Oh yes.
And one of those ones that I found really fascinating. One of those things I found really fascinating with the Harry Potter movies is that before the movies came out, they did popularity contests of the main characters, right? That's traditional new media stuff to do, and it was usually like Ron was usually the favorite character.
Yeah,
but the director of the movies did not like Ron. Like he specifically thought that Ron was crude and stupid. And so he directs Ron in the movies to be more crude and stupid, and that has become the canonical version of Ron Weasley.
That is the character.
That has become the canon. And there's some thing that's happened with that I think also happens with Lord of the Rings, where the Hobbits and especially Gimli. I always felt badly about how they did Gimli. Not surprising. I have a lot of affection for Gimli, Son of Gloin. Were turned into comic relief in a way that just the books didn't have at all. As a whole.
I completely agree with this. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I don't know if there's much more to say other than yes.
Well, I guess that kind of like draws us back to like we want to talk about this book and like how it relates to sincerity was how you pitched this to me, like the relationship with sincerity. And it surprised me. That was the angle that you had, because I was reading it, and the divide between sincerity and insincerity didn't really strike me too much.
Yes, I mean it's not a theme in the work.
That's true
at all. I think. Well, I mean, you can interpret anything. You can draw blood from any stone. We could squeeze and contort the thing until this theme becomes apparent. Right. This is possible. I'm sure we could find some angle. But I think for me, largely it is what I said earlier. I mean, there's something so like. Again, this is probably just my particular taste, but there's something so good about it, man. Like there's something like really like there's something in it that like I gave this a try and I was like, damn, like I don't need to be pretentious. Right? Like it just like it like knocked it out of me. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is just a very personal moment for me in my life, but like it knocked me into a place where like I didn't have to be a snob, right? Where I don't have to be like I'm not.
Well,
you think
and
I'm
actually
reading
this
science?
so
Right?
so
Like,
this is interesting, right? This is snobbishness is something I have a very interesting relationship with.
yeah.
This is something I have an interesting personal relationship with, because uh, I have this kind of complicated relationship with it because I came from academia, right? I
Yes.
came from this like, and a lot of the people I was around were very, very snobbish, and it reflected in how they viewed me, being one of the people who had come from a different class background.
I mean, this is exactly the same for me. This is what I was going to say next, right? For me, I feel like a large part of my adolescence was defined by this striving for snobbishness, right? Because I grew up very poor. I was desperately trying. My only goal in that I took very seriously from a young age, from when I was in like middle school and all high school, and like was I need to get into an elite college. I need to join a better. To procure a better life, right? To procure like I need to be able to schmooze with people at Princeton or whatever. I need to be able to schmooze with people at Harvard. Like this was like my overriding emotion, right? And I desperately didn't want to be perceived as like this dumb hick or something,
Profound
right?
insecurity over.
Right. And this knocked that out of me, right? This like made me realize like this that shit's lame, right? That shit sucks, right? And ultimately like there's a certain degree, right, of this is perhaps a little bit petty, but like a lot of this stuff is this sort of perceived snobbishness. This is the American aristocracy, right? This is maybe more of a written theme in the work, right? This is the I don't know, the kings and the parliament of America. These the trendsetters of the Ivy League. I don't know, something like this.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and it's one of those things that like is it's interesting to me, right? Because I grew up, I would say, middle class, lower middle class, somewhere in there, and I worked with rich people. I did like service work for rich people for a time, and then I went into academia where I was around some very rich people very frequently. And their way of signaling class is like not quite like that, right? Like they're perfectly happy to enjoy a Frank Miller comic.
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
not
exactly
the need to be snobbish like that is kind of a warped aping.
It's all people simultaneously trying to imitate the thing, right? It's people imitating each other, right?
It's a simulacra.
It's this recursive thing, right? Like it doesn't like but nevertheless, like when you're young, it's easy to get caught up in this thing, right? Like even now, this is something that's aesthetically popular, right? The trappings of this sort of idealized, quote unquote, noble academia, right? Things like I'm sure there's I could Google plenty of dark academia Pinterest boards and TikTok compilations right now, right? This is the same sort of yearning, the yearning for quiet coffee shops and cobblestones, right? This is I don't know, like it just like for some reason it was like a revelation. It just blasted me out of it entirely. It just made me realize like this is all a massive waste of my time. These people are assholes, right? I don't need to worry about this. I can do whatever I want. I can read funny elf story. I can like this is like just all at once. This was a revelatory moment.
And now you're anime on the internet.
And now I'm an anime person online, right? Yeah. And this is not a career choice I would have expected when I was desperately clawing for this sort of social status when I was 15 or whatever, trying to do fucking tests or whatever. But like it's something that I think it's a better path. Like, and I'm very grateful for this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hell yeah, my dude. And it's. Yeah, like it's interesting to. It's really interesting to think about this one, and like think about this relationship with sincerity, right? With sincerity and snobbishness, and I have this thing about snobbishness, where I think it's not like what you were doing was fully unsustainable.
Yeah.
And what you were doing was you were trying to be snobbish in general.
Yes.
You're trying to do it in general. And the thing is, like, in order to be snobbish, it requires a lot of investment.
Yes.
You can't be snobbish about something that you don't put a lot of time and effort into understanding and studying. It just doesn't work. It just fundamentally doesn't work.
Damn long.
Yeah, you don't have enough hours in the day to be snobbish about everything, to be discerning and tasteful and all that crap about everything. But there is a certain pleasure to snobbishness.
Yes,
like there's a pleasure to it. There's a pleasure to for me it's action movies is my big one that I'm a snob about. Like I will be a snob about action films. I'm unapologetic about it, and I can tell that I am getting more out of watching particularly good action films, like say Police Story. Police Story is an incredible film. I'm getting much more out of it now than I did before I was more invested in the art form.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between snobbishness and taste, also.
Right? I think there is, but I think that snobbishness is a type of pleasure that is fine to engage in, but you should probably let yourself only have like one or two things.
Yeah, and probably keep it in private.
I mean, talk to other snobs about it.
Like many things, it's
just don't be an asshole. Like it's the more important overriding thing. But like you know, talk with other movie snobs, other book snobs, and allow yourself to have naive enjoyment of other art forms.
Indulge in moderation.
Yeah, it's definitely again, like it will kill you if you try to be snobbish about everything. It'll kill you, and also everyone will hate you. Like you will be deeply annoying, and it won't work.
Yes, the superior thing that you can sort of adopt a sort of charming angle for you, and only half of the people will hate you. Is there's a sort of inverse snobbishness that I've become partial to now. Are you familiar with are you familiar with The Simpsons?
I am. Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
There's a thing that's sort of become internet lore related to The Simpsons.
Okay.
There's an episode of you're probably familiar. There's a thing called Sneed's Feed and Seed.
I will need to refamiliarize myself with this. Hold on.
It's a horrendous internet joke thing. Basically, there's a sign on the Homer Simpson goes to a farm supply place, right? And there's a sign. The sign on the place says Sneed's Feed and Seed, and the joke is that it says formerly Chuck's, so it must have been formerly Chuck's. Can I swear on here?
Go ahead.
Oh, it's Chuck's fucking suck.
Yeah.
So and this has been sort of recommented again and again on online, right? It's become a crazy image board thing. It's become a crazy Reddit thing. It's become just something that one of these internet things, right? But I don't mean to bring it up from this angle. I mean to bring it up from the angle of there's an inverse snobbishness portrayed in Sneed's Feed and Seed, where when Homer Simpson steps out of his car and approaches this shop, there's people who are archetypes of what's the word, maybe hicks, right? Like something like this. People who are lower class, people engaged with farm work, right? And they say, well, look at the city slicker pulling up in his fancy German car, right? And they comment on his shoes, right? And like this is the type of snobbishness you need to adopt, right? We should all be more this way. I will make fun of these sorts of things forever, right? There's a snobbishness in I think this is the thing I didn't understand when I was young, right? You can be snobbish from any angle, right? I'm being intentionally kind of silly with this, obviously, but you can I should have when I was young. I should have just adopted the inherent snobbishness of Sneed's Feed and Seed, and instead been snobbish towards, and it would have served me better in these elite contexts, right? This is the sort of thing that is actually appealing to the wealthy or to the powerful, right? This sort of charming parochial kind of thing, right?
Oh, Jesus. No, it's
feeling elitist based on, right? There's another thing I think of very a lot. I wonder if you've encountered this, Almantas, is there are broadly two classes of people, right? You can pick any distinction, and you can divide people into two classes, right? But I'm going to choose this one, right? There are some people who, when you ask where they're from, right, they talk positively about it, and they like to turn it into a conversation about which place is better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which place is best. And there are other people that come from a place where when you talk about it, they like to talk about how bad it is, and they'll turn it into a bit of a contest about which place is worst. Right?
Yes,
and I find that this is a very fundamental psychological distinction, and this is something that is cross-cutting across like, different cultures, different everything, right? And it's almost always, if you are in one of those groups, it's easy to get along with the people in your same group, right? Like I have, it's a very easy sort of camaraderie to oh man, I come from such like my hometown, man, is so bad. Like I'm in the latter group, right? I'm in that group where like when I meet someone, right, and we're talking about these things, we're getting to know each other. I'm always talking about, oh man, where I'm from, it sucks, right? It sucks horribly, right? And this is something where if the person you're talking to has this same sort of thing, right? This can it's instant camaraderie, right? And I think this ties in to this kind of snob, like, I don't know, you have to have the right sort of thing contextually, right? You have to have the and it's hard to I should have been, I don't know. This is getting out of my handle on it, right? But yeah, I think you see what I mean, right? I do. It's interesting to consider.
It's interesting to consider, and it's I am a New Yorker. I'm a New Yorker, and I not by birth. And the thing I see with New York, I notice that other people my age, really talk up how bad they think New York is.
Yes.
All the time. And I have lived here for a while, and my impression is I like it here.
Yes.
Just honestly.
Perhaps the observation is that this is not an element. This is not something that comes from the place. It's something that comes from the person, right? Two people could have these different perspectives on the same place, right? Mm-hmm. This is what makes it, I think, a useful tool in I don't know, gauging people or building this camaraderie. It's something in people. Who knows what causes this?
Who knows what causes it? It's interesting. Like I said, I like living here, to be blunt.
Yes.
I like living here. I think it's nice. I think it's a mediocre place to visit, to be honest. I think the tourist parts are actually the worst parts of it. And then, like, if you just live here, it's actually very nice to be able to walk to the grocery store.
Yeah.
To be able to walk to 5 grocery stores.
This is a nice thing.
It's nice. It's pleasant. It's pleasant, and and people are actually nice to each other here. To be honest, like this is. But I talk to, particularly if you're talking like online New Yorkers, they play up all the time how much it sucks.
Yes.
Right. They're making fun of how much it sucks all the time.
This ties back exactly to the sort of thing I was saying about this sort of, I don't know, inverse snobbishness, kind of, right? It's cool because, you know why? Because it's cool to be like that, right?
The valorization of suffering
is the cool thing, right?
There's definitely a valorization of suffering going on in pretty much everything, right? Like it's hard to find a situation where there isn't a valorization of suffering in the in the 21st century. And it's colonoscopy that is unique to New York within America. That is, there are not other places. I've lived a lot of America. Living without a car in most of America is very difficult.
Yes, in cities it's relatively, you know, I'm also a non-driver, and this tends to influence my decision making a lot. And I've lived in some cities where it was quite nice, and I was able to walk, and now I'm you know, stranded far away in the countryside, and this is a distant dream, but a distant dream of fields we don't know.
Yeah,
but,
you want to return to the fields you know, which is to say the subway.
No, I actually much prefer it. I've abandoned the dream of city life, I think, for now. For solitude, right? This is something
like you said, you're easily visually overstimulated. right?
Yeah.
That's you're
Yeah.
easily visually overstimulated, so you want
For sure. Yeah.
you want
It's the
the tranquil boughs and meadows.
yeah.
Uh, uh, we are going into
Your ad
ads.
style, I think.
It's ads time. So we'll be back in a few minutes. So bear with us, and I apologize for the ads. It's time to mute. All right, we're back. We're back.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Some of those things that I kind of alluded to that I thought was kind of interesting about the King of Elfland's daughter, and that's I think it's kind of worth thinking about a little bit is this angle with Ireland. Yeah, this sort of Irish angle to it, because one of those things that I kind of see in this work is that the end results, the sort of, I don't know if I'd call it a good result, but it's definitely a result of the storyline. It's definitely a ending, is the annexation and unification of the two lands. And this is happening just 2 years after Irish independence by a person who materially lost out because of Irish independence, by a person who fought against Irish independence twice. A person who was injured in the line of duty against Irish independence. And it's hard for me to see that and not see that there's this kind of unionist angle to this. That he is kind of casting the unification of kingdoms through supernatural means, which the divine right of kings is, right? Yes. Let's not mince words here. That this is kind of a sort of natural outcome of these things. This is kind of this natural outcome of struggle, and I don't know. I think there's something.
Although I guess so. I don't know. Maybe I would.
That's I'm presenting the maximalist vision. I think that we can temper it. We can walk it back. Let's walk it back. Yeah.
I think there's sort of nuance here, right?
Yeah.
I think first of all, I don't know if it's so blatantly allegorical at all, right? I think there's like, I mean, there's certainly, like, anything can be interpreted in any such way, but I think there's something of a case for it, maybe. But I think there's also, like, I don't know. An interesting angle there is that the vision is definitely tempered in the sense that the ending is certainly ambiguous, right? Mm-hmm. It's presented at least at the first level as positive, right? Like this is a reunification, right? And this is an achievement of the people's wishes. But the people, the parliament, right? This is also, they're characterized as foolish, right?
Yes.
For having this ambition, right? This is something that's like even explicitly in the text, right, early on, like the king says, my people demand a magic lord to rule over them. They have chosen foolishly, right?
Yes.
Like this is an explicit angle. I think it's I don't know.
I'm absolutely with you on that. I think that there's something interesting about that. There's something that was I did read some reviews and some critiques of the work, and that was one of the few things. That was one of the ones that came up, was this sort of like intrinsic conservatism to the narrative.
Yes.
That, like, to the extent that there is any sort of like obvious political angle, it is this portrayal of the parliament as foolish.
Yes.
The parliament are fools for wanting to do this, and that it was a silly choice of them, and their better nature would have been to have listened to the king.
Yes.
Right. Like
another interesting element that comes when, like, with these sorts of interpretations of the thing as like allegory is the, like, in the text, right, the land of Earl, the fields we know is explicitly, this is English.
Yes.
Right. This is English woods and English vales and English cowslips, right, and English flowers, and so I think like this is also an interesting angle, right? Like perhaps, like I think there's angles, like you could, I mean, there's all kinds of interpretations you could draw, right? There's interpretations you could draw regarding separation of the British Isles with like continental Europe, right? And
I
mean, like the wars, right? Like this is
it's to the east, and to the east, obviously, of England is the sea, but this is 1920s. There are English possessions over the seas, and if history had turned out differently, or if we had different writings and different notions about Lord Dunsany, we could read this as a fear that the crown of India, that the Indian Raj is going to, because the Indian Raj at this point in history was the majority of the British economy. To an extent, it was the Indian Raj, and like if that had persisted for decades and decades and decades thence, maybe that's what we would think of England, is we would think of England as a sort of subsidiary, a sort of rump state of a greater Indian-led transoceanic empire. And it's not how it turned out, right? It's not how it turned out. And I do feel like the interpretation of as being kind of pro-unionist and anti-parliamentary make sense with his biographical details. I think those lend a little bit of weight to that, though I do think it's eisegesis, right? It's bad. It's a little non-exegetical.
I think personally I would my own thoughts lead, like I think it's not allegorical in this way, at least the intention, but of course you can endlessly the intentions matter not very much, right? Like and
I'll make the argument for soft allegory here, which is this is an aristocratic man, and
there can be a common origin in these themes, right? It doesn't have to be a line. It can be like a V-shaped kind of thing, right? Well, the things that influence Lord Dunsany's life could have equally influenced this work is like there's not necessarily a direct line of causality from like this thing. Well, this thing happened to Lord Dunsany. Lord Dunsany has these thoughts. They're put down in the work. There's I don't know.
Well,
it's in the air, right? It's in the air, perhaps.
Well, I was going for a slightly different angle, which is I do not read this book as polemical. This book, it did not come across as like this is my deliberate satire / political morality play about why the Irish Republicans were fools.
It feels to me, sorry to interrupt, like it's almost the anti-polemic, right? It has almost nothing to say, I feel, about that which is, I mean, it has things to say about that which is real, but its focus is on the fantastic. Its focus is on unreality, right? It's on it's like, and I think to like add allegory to unreality, right? This is to like to misunderstand it almost, right? This is to like it's like you can how do you there's a line in the book even like that I thought was I didn't save it, right? There's a line that's like where the protagonist Alveric is looking out on the mountains. He's come to the border of Elfland and he looks out on the mountains and he's waiting for a sunset, right? He's waiting for a sunset to see what colors it will cast across the mountains, right? Across these unreal ethereal mountains, and there's no color at all, and he realizes that nothing in the fields we know can cast a shadow on like on that which is unreal, right? This is something that I don't know. So I think this is sort of like for me this is where it comes from, right? There's this sense of detachment from worldly affairs, right? Detachment from human beings even, right? The characters are not very humanized, right? The characters are like you know that like as you there's this bit of like it's almost like a little puppet show, right? Like there's it's not really like supposed to be a character piece regarding like motivations of there are characters and they're motivated to do such and such a thing and this is their psychology, right? They're paper dolls, right? Like they're things that move according to the whims of fate, and like but this is in accordance with the greater theme, I think, of like it's unreal, right? It's I don't know. This is my interpretation, at least.
Well, I mean, you actually had some things to say about the way this all ties together. Like it's about this unworldliness, right? And he lives a kind of unworldly life.
Yes.
He lives this kind of detached life. And again, I want to be somewhat clear. I don't think, like I say, he's not being polemical, like I said, and I think that to the extent that I think this notion of him being an aristocrat and a unionist kind of come into play is, I think that those kind of shape his idea of what is a natural order to the world and was a natural resolution to problems.
Yes, I would even I don't know, like I think there's a sense in which it's a there is a polemical stance, but the stance is of of turning one's head away, right? Of turning away from the world, right?
Yeah.
Which sort of mirrors the man, maybe. But I don't want to psych out. Like this is not super. Like, but there's this sense, right? Like in that a theme of the work is at the end, like everything is swallowed up by. You know, the unreal. Everything is it's like a dream. Like it's not like a dream in the sense of, oh, it was all a dream, but like it's this, you know, this sense of falling asleep and dreaming forever or something, right? This sense of like you've turned aside from worldly concerns, right? From concerns of people and their interactions and their how do you say, like the problems of the fields we know, right? And suddenly they're in Elfland, and the problems are these are alien things, right? These are, but it's also all very unreal, right? Like it's, I don't know. There's something there. I think there's something of like of just total abstention, right?
Yes.
Almost from the world, from people, right? From human beings, right? This is a theme I think I see.
There's definitely yeah. You're right. That's because I was thinking about this. One of those things about fairy tales, right, is that fairy tales are often morality plays.
Yes, they're fables.
They're fables, and so I wound up looking for that kind of angle to this because it's a very natural kind of angle to look for. And what I wound up seeing often throughout this, and I found it kind of ironic in a way, that the like I mentioned earlier, one of those things that stood out to me as an odd element of the story, in a way in which it's not really a story about characters, is that our protagonist, Alveric, seems to love his wife much more when she's not actually around.
Yes, I think in general, right? Like it's almost the furthest thing from a morality play. I would even, it's maybe an amorality play.
Oh,
right?
Interesting. Yeah.
Alveric is if you look at it in the text and the events of the plot, Alveric is a killer and a madman, right?
Yeah,
he's like he's like just straight up in the text. He's a killer and a madman. And but in the theme of the work, he is a hero, right?
Yes,
this is a heroic romance, right? He is a hero.
Yeah.
And I think to some degree, right, this is kind of like this is right. Like
the part about him being a killer is a fun point because like he's the only person in the plot who kills anybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Right, he's the only one who does.
Explicitly so.
Like the King of Elfland is kind of thematically more the villain of the story, but he literally kills -1 people.
Yes.
In the text, literally negative kill rate on the guy, and that's actually a pretty interesting and good point. It does have this complexity, right? Where we've not mentioned this at all, but one of those places where this is kind of a weird story is that it has I don't understand, genuinely. I do not understand its relationship with Christianity.
Yes.
I'm thrown by its relationship with Christianity. And Christianity exists in the plot, but it is the domain of one guy who, like, the other humans take him seriously and take his concerns seriously and act in ways that he teaches, but they don't seem to have any belief or understanding about the divine other than like rote following of rules. And that's actually one of those things I was going to talk about. This is a part when I was thinking about it from the morality play angle. What I was thinking about a lot is this question of following the rules.
Yes.
Of traditions come up all the time. They're brought up constantly. When I say that it doesn't seem like Alveric likes his wife very much, the specific thing that he seems to dislike about his wife is that she doesn't understand and follow local custom.
Yes.
That she is not obeying the local rules and customs of Earl. That she's always other. She is always alien. She doesn't get. She doesn't get it. She doesn't fit in. And that's what he seems to not like about her, which is also what he likes about her, right? Because he's
yes,
because so much of the story,
this dual fascination, like it's trying to capture that which is unreal, right? Like this thing that is so alien to yourself. I mean, that is
a literal element of the story is the grass being greener on the other side.
Yeah,
a literal element. The grass is literally greener in fairy.
Some of these things are writ pretty plain, right?
Yeah.
Like it's yeah.
So he needs his wife whenever she's not around. He goes mad with longing when she is not present. But when she is present, he's frustrated, he's irritated, he's scolding her constantly. He doesn't get why she doesn't like fit in, why she doesn't like the other people, why she doesn't get the culture, and you're kind of left with this question of so this question about customs, right, is whereas the customs get emphasized a lot, and it's an interesting one of these places where the story has paradoxes that are deliberate internal paradoxes to the story. I don't think they are mistakes. I don't think these are plot holes. I think they're intentional paradoxes. Is that the people of Earl, their complaint is that nothing changes. Their complaint is that everything is the same.
Yes, very explicitly. It's the very start of the thing, right? Like they're nothing has changed. We want a magic king.
Nothing has changed. We want a magic king. And the people of Elfland, notably the princess Lyrazel, Lyrazel or Lizarel? Lyrazel, I think.
Yes.
Her fascination with Earl is that everything changes.
Yes.
Like is that everything changes? Is that things are constantly changing? And it's this. I think that there's something to be said. This kind of this is a useful thing about the world that you kind of learn, particularly from studying the sciences. And like when you try to study scientific facts and you learn how things fit together, how things repeat. They always repeat differently.
Yes.
And it's never perfect. It's always slightly different. And that is kind of how she sees the world, right? Is like she is not seeing the patterns. She is seeing the fact that you could even make a pattern, whereas the people of Earl have become blind to their own changeability by their obsession with their own patterns.
Yes.
And that's I don't know. That's kind of interesting, and to the extent that there's a big event that happens, right? The big event is the merging of Elfland and Earl, and things change, which is what they wanted. They wanted things to change, so they get one change ever again for eternity,
and nothing will ever change again.
Yeah.
Yes,
they get to have one change ever again, and that's. Like I said, like the grass is greener theme is very heavy, and what is the morality of this? What is the ethics of this? There's maybe an ethics of listen to the aristocrats, right?
Yeah, I think perhaps I don't know. I think the ethics perhaps even is it does present itself in this fairy tale way. I think it almost presents an absence of ethics, or a sort of I don't know, what are the ethics of fairies? Something strange and incomprehensible, right? Something that is right. Well, it sort of depicts it kind of acts like a morality play, but the morality that gives you is something alien, right?
Yes. There's
no lesson, right? There's no nice little moral bow on the thing, right? It's just
it's not even it's not even clear that this is a bad ending.
Yeah. It's something that is apart from ethics, right? It's presenting to you something that is on a totally different axis. Maybe it's a completely different but in the form of a morality play. I think that's really interesting.
This actually reminds me. I had a game idea for our game developer, our living game developer on stream.
Oh boy.
I was hit by something. Right, I was just hit by something, which is in the Fallouts, the new Fallouts. You can murder a whole group of people, and that has less impact on your karma than stealing one bottle of liquor from them.
Yes. Yes.
And so I was just kind of imagining a game. Apologies. I know the clock is so exasperated. You hear these all the time, right?
Oh no, not at all. No, I'm more exasperated because I feel like I'm a poor claim at a game developer. I don't really have any. Well, anyway, continue. My own insecurities need not enter this.
Whatever is going on in the rest of the game, but the actual game, the actual real game is there's a karma system like in Fallout, but it operates on extremely alien rules.
Yes.
And your game in the game is to try to figure out what are the actual rules.
Yes.
that you're being bound by? What is the alien ethics
Yeah.
that is holding that you are actually beholden to? Not the real ethics of what is actually right, but what is the God of this universe decreed to be the rules of ethics?
This is very good. I think this is an excellent idea.
Yeah, I think it's a fun idea where you get that feedback, right? You get that Fallout feedback of you lost karma, but like the rules are confusing and unclear.
They're just some arcane. They're incomprehensible for us.
They need
right?
to. There needs to be eventually rules, but I'm thinking about like Outer Wilds and and Forgotten City, which have rules, but the rules are mysterious and baroque.
Yeah, they're things you have to uncover, right? This is actually the genre of game that I'm quite taken with right now. This is the genre that Void Stranger is. Yes, I think this learning through playing. There's a game called Chance of Sonar.
Vex was playing it on stream. I haven't played it. I did see Vex play it.
Yes, this is you have to learn a language, right?
Yes,
the gameplay element. It's exciting. I actually have a bit of a video game tidbit regarding this. Maybe a minor thing, right? There's because we are gamers around here, of course.
As a rule,
we love gaming more than
it would be difficult to be completely not a gamer on Twitch.tv.
Yes. So there's a game for the PlayStation, the first PlayStation, called Kodelka. It's sort of a prequel to a later series of JRPGs called Shadow Hearts.
Okay.
They're relatively known, right? It's a bunch of people who left Square, I think, of now Square Enix, the whole shebang. And Kodelka it's a very strange it's kind of like a horror JRPG about exploring. Basically, it's a big spooky haunted mansion kind of situation, but it has this sort of historical setting, right? And it follows this journey of there's three characters in it, right? There's the eponymous Kodelka, right? There's a like a priest or bishop type character who they encounter, and there's a third person who's like this kind of lower class wayward adventurer kind of guy, right? And it has this very historical setting, kind of, right? Like it's distinct from a lot of other JRPGs of that era, where it's like kind of very grounded, right? They kind of try and establish like this real, like it's in this particular place in Wales, right? They meet Roger Bacon, right? Like there's all this like stuff that happens, and the name of like the third party member, this adventurer character, is Edward Plunkett.
Incredible.
Yes,
What a move.
I think this is. I saw this for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, that is a cut that they." I don't know if this is. I mean, I don't think it's coincidental, but that is a wild cut.
That's a wild choice. Mickey Noon, thank you for the follow.
Mickey Noon.
That is a strange choice. That is a strange choice. What a move. What a move.
Yeah. And I would encourage, honestly, I think the game, I mean, it's a game I would recommend too. It's not very long, and it's extremely well acted for a video game of this era. Like the voice acting and the motion capture is, I think they if I recall correctly, they like recruited stage actors locally, like in the US to do the voice acting. So it's a Japanese game, but it's only the voices. It's only in English, and it has this very like theatrical sort of, and you can tell that the people like doing the motion capture in like the same space, talking to each other. It's really good.
I like that. I think that being more pretentiously, obnoxiously stage based is a good trick. I think it's a fun trick. I'm sure that if people did it enough, it would get boring and annoying, but I don't think we're there yet. I think we're a minute off from that. I've said frequently that one of my favorite adaptations I've ever seen was the live action adaptation of the anime. What is it? The gambling addiction anime. I already forgot the name of it.
Yes.
Was it Kakegurui?
Kakegurui, I think.
Yeah,
is the thing. Yes, I've seen this. Yeah.
So the anime is very famous for its disgusting faces, which is deserved. They're very grotesque. It's impressive, and so it's this anime where characters often do asides, right? They do these big asides because everybody's gambling, but everybody's also cheating. And so characters will do like this action will freeze, and the character will monologue internally to themselves about how they're cheating. And the way they do this in the live action is they do it like it's a stage play.
Yeah, and it's a classic like soliloquy, right?
Yeah,
This is like
characters.
Yeah.
Everybody freezes, and the lights go down, and they put a limelight on the character who's about to soliloquy, and they walk around the stage while everybody else is frozen, while they explain their evil plot.
Yeah,
That's
this
wonderful.
is wonderful.
It's great. It's great. No,
Yeah, that's actually awesome.
Yeah, it rocks.
I'll check that out.
It rocks. We need more of this. We need more of this. We need the theater kids have simply not been guided correctly. The theater kids get a bad rap, and it's just because we haven't given them the right function, which is taking melodramatic anime art and making it more melodramatic.
And making banger video games. Right?
Yeah,
this is the path. This is the way.
I mean, I joke frequently that one of my favorite decisions a video game studio made was the developers of Warframe.
Yes.
Their lead developer for years, he's since moved on to another project, is not a video game guy.
Yes.
You need to not have a video game guy be in charge of the video game. That's my thought. They have the graphics guys in charge of the video game.
Yes, this is a fair thing. I think it's easy to get too, if something's too close to home, it's easy to get too wrapped up in like your preconceptions about it. And,
the two people we need not in charge of video games are the business guys and the video game guys.
Yeah,
who are unfortunately the most often in charge. We need actors and directors.
Yeah,
we need because we've had a couple.
We need people from Finland mostly.
We need Finland. We need the Finns. We need the Baltics seem to have the magic.
The Baltics really do. It's actually unreal the output of insanely good and cool and innovative video games from Finland. I don't know if you've observed this phenomenon, but it's unreal, right? Like they're like, I don't know. Like so many, like I every time I see a new game that's like I call them lovingly freak games, right? Because I'm they appeal to people like me, right? They appeal to like these strange little awkward games, right?
Yes,
and like every time they're from Finland, like almost without fail, right? Like it's crazy.
I'm looking. I've got the Wikipedia open of video games in Finland, and unfortunately it's not organized in a way that is
it doesn't show you all the like
it's not showing me individual games. It's showing me like companies. It's like, no, I don't need this.
It's mostly indie games, right? I feel like basically all the super interesting video games are made by like 3 people now. Right?
No, like 12 is about your max. 12 is I'd say a 12 or 15 person studio. Like at that point you're kind of hitting the upper limit. Like you need to obey the small group rule of 15 from sociology. The small group rule is I think critical. Okay, some of these are already appealing to me.
Yes, like in terms of recent things, right? Like obviously, Cruelty Squad. I don't know if you've seen this.
Cruelty Squad
Fear
rules.
and Hunger. Fear and Hunger
is extremely Finnish. Even if it wasn't Finnish, it would somehow retroactively become Finnish.
Yes, Void Stranger, obviously Finnish.
Yes.
There are many others. There are many others. Baba Is You.
Baba Is You is Finnish. That's a good one.
And Environmental Station Alpha and Noita, and like there's just an endless list of like these...
Noita? I didn't think that Noita was. I didn't think Noita was. Okay,
Noita's very heavily Finnish, right? All the enemies are, and even the names are the Finnish.
Oh wow! I don't know why that didn't occur to me. I don't know why that didn't occur to me. And Finland's such like a striking language, right?
Yes, yeah, very not Indo-European. Totally different language family.
Language family. Yes. Always interesting to see that. Oh, dude. This is my second collab this week where language families came up as a topic of discussion. But yes, it's that was actually one of those things that was like a very weird small thing inside inside Elfland's Daughter that I didn't quite parse out. Which is, why do the people of Earl speak the language of trolls?
Yes.
It's just not explained. I don't think we're supposed to understand, right? I think that's supposed to be like a deliberate contradiction. It's a deliberate problem in the story that the people rarely go across the boundary between Fae and Earl. The main groups that go across the boundary are unicorns and foxes.
Yes.
Are the main two. But for whatever reason, the people of Earl can speak Troll, at least the peasants of Earl. We're not actually
Yes.
told if the aristocrats of Earl can, but the peasants of Earl can speak Troll to some extent, almost as if it's like a second language.
Yeah.
And why would they have this power, right? Why would they have this knowledge? Is I think a very, it's a weird question. It's a weird question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't.
It's strange. I mean, some would say like they're just, well, I mean, they're the closest, right? It's mentioned explicitly like this is the closest place in the lands we know to
Yes.
the lands we don't know, right?
Yeah,
So this is you know,
And
there's
good.
it's naturally something that they're aware of, right? It's something that they're more aware of maybe than others, right? Like to it's brought up several times, I think, right? Like they yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting as an unexplored mystery, right? Just like there's so many things in the thing that are just like, what's the deal with that? What's the deal with that? And some of them are probably like have some kind of allegorical purpose, I imagine, right? Like there's a thing early on where when the witch is making the sword, and it mentions that she's burning bones.
Yes. Yes.
And one of the things it mentions is she's burning the thigh bone of materialists.
I did see that. I did see
And
that. That
sticks
struck
out.
me.
It's like,
It really stick out to me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's just interesting little things like that don't really like recur, and it's just
my instinct on like why these people speak Troll and why there's this connection is related to like the constant invocation of romanticism.
Yeah.
To the romanticist movement and its relationship to the story, wherein the Fae are kind of, there's a little bit of an element of the Fae are Irish.
Yeah.
Right. There's a little bit of this element of like the Fae as Irish, and because fairies are an Irish folkloric element. And so there's this kind of a little bit of an invocation that, or like reference maybe even like an oblique reference, an allusion to the fact that within England, in the medieval English context, there is a significant ethnic divide between the upper and lower classes.
Yes.
You know, on the basis of the Norman conquest. And the lower classes would thus have this kind of deeper connection to, you know, their neighbors.
Yes.
To their neighbors in a way that the conquering heroes from France don't.
Yes.
I think that's kind of interesting.
Yes.
That kind of hits me as an interesting element to it, and that's the closest I can come to. I don't know if it really accomplishes anything other than kind of relaying once more to us the ignorance of our protagonists.
Yes.
That you know, our main protagonists are Orion and Alfric, our two kings.
Yes.
And it's constantly invoked that they're ignorant.
Yes.
That they're very ignorant of the world around them. They have certain types of knowledge, but that they're lacking in other types of knowledge, and especially in the case of Alfric, right? Alfric is often failing to understand the world that he lives in, and it's a frustration to him.
It's sort of a double ignorance, so Alfric's ignorance is sort of portrayed as a if I recall correctly, I'm trying to piece together the whole thing in my head, right? I think Alvaric's ignorance is sort of portrayed as a it's definitely it's more of a failing, right? Mm-hmm. It's more of this I don't know. It's portrayed in a slightly more negative tone, I think, compared to Orion's ignorance, which is the ignorance of innocence.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Because Orion is the child of Alvaric and the king of Elfland's daughter, right? Mm-hmm. The you know, awkward to say, but the MacGuffin of the story to some degree, right? Orion is inhuman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. He's like Hercules. He's a demigod.
Yeah, running with the wolves, and is something that is very, very distinct from human beings, right? Something that is like like has the form of a human, but is like has alien passions, right? Like I think this is a kind of a nice contrast, right? I don't know, right? Like there's a certain degree to which I don't know. The people thought a magic lord would be an Alveric, but a magic lord really is more of an Orion. I don't know. This is getting too far into the weeds, maybe though on it.
I would, yeah. It's what do I say about? So Alveric's ignorance is. I also think Alveric's ignorance is partially an output of his wound. He suffers one true wound early on in the story, which is he goes into Elfland.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he goes into Elfland, and he just goes there for like a day. He goes there for a day, and he goes and he captures. He takes his bride back to the land of the living. He doesn't even take supplies with him. He just goes and grabs his stuff. He doesn't even fill his water skin before he heads out. He heads out. He spends one night hanging out with a leather worker, and then he goes into Elfland, and he comes back the same day. And in this time, 10 years pass, and his father dies, and he is in a sense kind of wounded by this. It's something that like he never quite recovers from. Not just the death of his father, but the way in which 10 years pass without him being present for it.
Yeah.
That he has delinked from his own rightful piece of being the world. Like his rightful life and duty includes being linearly present for every moment of your own life and of the world that passes, and he is robbed of that, and he's wounded by that. And it seems like that is a part of his ignorance is driven by this separation, that he never quite recovers his sense of belonging in the world and his sense of knowledge of the world.
Yes, and I mean he never does, right? Yeah. Like this is the the conclusion is not, I don't know, one of catharsis, right? Mm-hmm. It's one of kind of ultimately it's a rejection of the world, right? Yes. Like he ends up out like yes. This is it's interesting.
Yeah. No, it's and like you said, like Orion is innocent, whereas Ulrich is, well, he's explicitly mad. He's explicitly insane. He's explicitly mad in like the classic Gothic sense of like he has suffered some wound, and this causes him to de-link with reality in a profound way. He's profoundly de-linked with reality.
Yes,
and this is why when he goes on quest to get his wife back, another 10 years, right? He gets back his 10 years. He loses 10 years in an afternoon, and he regains 10 years by wandering the wilderness like a maniac.
Yes.
Sorry about sneeze. Okay, I'm good. And so he gains these 10 years back by doing this, but his company are all lunatics.
It's madmen, right?
It's madmen. It's a group of 6, and 2 of them are not actually insane, but they're temporarily rendered insane, which I like those 2 a lot. I like those 2 a lot. Vand and Canock or Rannoch.
Yes.
I like those 2. I like the 2 who are temporarily insane. Though one has been driven mad by loneliness. The shepherd is so lonely that he doesn't know. He's just like, why not? Like why not do this? And one is heartsick. One has been spurned by his lover, and the cure for getting dumped is to spend 10 years with a mad king wandering the wilderness.
Yes, sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty good, and it works. It works, which is like going into the morality play almost of it. Like is this like what? Is this the prescription? Is this the prescription for getting dumped? Is to leave the country for 10 years, and then come back and like just pick up right back off where you left. Like his long lost lover just is like, this is what I needed. Now I'm into you. Now I'm into you. Now this is solved. Now my problems with you have been resolved. And they get married, and it just resolves happily. Like he just has to spend 10 years wandering around with a lunatic, looking for the elves, and that fixes his brain. And they're both lovely. They're both lovely characters because they have opposite ends, right? They're both opposite ends of the extrema. the shepherd returns to normality, returns to sanity by losing his sense of hope.
Yes.
That's the phrase that they use. He loses the hope, and the lover returns to the world by losing his hopelessness. Like he's on the quest because he's hopeless. And so what else does he do other than to hang out with his king, getting lost all over the place and just making camp every night with with a bunch of maniacs.
Yeah.
And then he loses his sense of hopelessness and just realizes that everything's going to be okay. And then he goes home and he falls back in love and has a nice life. And I don't know what the
nice little duality, right?
Nice duality. Yeah, it's a nice duality. These two opposite ends of escaping the enchantment of Elfland, whereas the other maniacs are just maniacs, right? Like they're just insane. And of course, one of them's a poet.
by the whims of the moon.
Yeah, one's been struck by the moon. One is cursed by destiny to be mad. He's just born simple. I think that the term that we might use, particularly in VTuber land, is just severely autistic.
Yes.
That one. And it's a poet, a moonstruck man, the king being driven mad by the loss of his wife, who he doesn't like very much. And yeah, it's an interesting coterie. It's an interesting coterie.
And the choice to very intentionally in the text portray the king as mad is interesting also, right?
Super
it's not
explicit.
Like he's on a doomed quest and this is an interpretation that we're taking from it. Like he is explicitly in the most clear cut way possible. Like he is insane, right? Like he has gathered a band of others who are also insane with him. Like it's I don't know, like that's like just such an again, it's something that like you wouldn't expect in a typical fairy story, I think, like this, right? Like it's one of those kind of anachronisms that you're like, huh, what is that all about, right? Like that's it's very cute, right? Like it's very I don't know.
I think it's cute. I think it's good. I think it's a literally good flourish.
Yes.
I think it's one of my favorite little mini stories inside the story. One of my favorite subplots. Is the band of madmen and how they interact with each other, and that could have been a solid short story on its own.
Yes.
Right. That could have been a solid short story on its own of just like the king has gone mad, and is on a quest to find somebody. Who goes with
this
it?
This would be a good one-shot piece of fan fiction for some other piece of media.
Also, depending on what system you run in, it could be a good one-shot TTRPG.
Oh, perhaps. I mean, a merry band of madmen is kind of this is appropriate for this context.
Yeah. You've got the GM playing the king, and then and you have to play the other people trying to make the best of the situation.
Yes.
And it's there's a lot. I don't know. It's not even rich is the thing, right? It's not rich. It's just kind of delightful. Yeah. It's just kind of really delightful. And what we're looking at, I suppose, in these moments is this kind of this kind of ways in which the world kind of warps to both the fairy logic but also to the whims of powerful men. Yeah. Because so much of the world warps around the whims of the Elf King.
Yes.
Like the King of Elfland is his desires ultimately change everything.
Yes.
And it's not that he can be forced to do anything. The only thing that forces him is something that's a very fundamental truth about life, right? That you can't make people love you.
Yes.
People love at their own discretion, predilection, and his daughter, is in love with Alvarek, and is in love with the mortal realms, and will suffer if she lives in Elfland forevermore. And he just has to accept that, right? Like he has all this power. He has all the power imaginable, but he cannot control the heart of his own daughter.
He can't do anything about it, right? This is yes. This is a good, definitely a clear and good theme of the whole thing, right?
Yeah, the reason must be slave to the passions, to quote David Hume.
Yes.
And it's very. I think it's very neat. I think it works out really well in this case. And um, I will say that I think it handles a gendered element better than I've gotten used to fantasy fiction handling
Yes.
it, which is, you know, the daughter, the
Yes.
eponymous daughter, is not a very active agent in the story.
Yes.
She's not a very active agent in the story. She's very much an object
Yes.
to both the king and to both kings, right? She's an object being traded between two kings. But she isn't completely absent any agency.
Yes.
And
To some degree, she has perhaps the most agency in the whole plot, right?
That's
She's
right, yeah.
she's the of course, like, the conclusion of the plot is almost like kind of at least caused by her, right? She is the creator of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to some degree, like, kind of the whole conflict of the story is caused by like the I mean, if I like I'm trying to remember the exact details, but like her father instills in her the longing to return to Elfland, right? But it's not a compulsion, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting element of the whole thing. It's not necessarily a oh, you are under my command, you return to me, right? It's an awakening of a longing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's of a, like, and ultimately, like, the choice and the agency is still, like, it's interesting, right? Because she very much is just, like, kind of, like I said, like the MacGuffin of the plot, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's the
living
title of the
MacGuffin.
story, right? This is, and the story is not called Elfland Princess, right?
Yep.
The story is called The King of Elfland's Daughter, right? It's like
She's
two
possessed by the
degrees
king, yeah.
separated, right?
Yeah.
It's defined by this, but ultimately, I think, like, she is, like, kind of like the agentic character of the story, which is unconventional, right?
It is unconventional. I think it's a good move.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting move, and I think
But I think it's also worth pointing out that none of them are really, how do you say, characters in sort of a human sense, right? In the sense that this sort of provides some kind of analogy for anything human, right? That like they're, I think I was saying, I would describe them as paper dolls, right? They are all objects at the end of the day, right? Like, it's sort of the I don't know. It's almost like I can speak of them having agency to some degree, but like they kind of in kind of the real sense have no agency at all, right? Like, it's very much like a little play, right? A little puppet show. So I don't know, right? Like, it's almost like impossible to compare these things to, like, real to humans, right? It's like it's so detached. Of course, they kind of have human form, right? They have the veneer of a character in a story that is intended to behave like a human being, but, like, almost all of, like, the, you know, it's I don't know.
It's a bit of a thing about, like, that I think is always kind of interesting in fiction. It's something that started to hit me a lot when I was younger and reading lots of webcomics.
Yes.
The way that you choose who gets to be interesting in a story, and the thing that I noticed with, like, I think of it as I saw it with webcomics first, but I think it's kind of an artifact of serial fiction.
Yes.
Where the main characters are too important for you to let them do anything.
Yes. Yes.
So they wind up being, like, the least interesting, and they wind up, like, sidelining themselves from their own plot by the commitment of the author to maintain a consistent voice for a particular character rather than letting them change. So all the interesting stuff has to happen to side characters.
Yeah.
And so in this one, like, the more interesting characters in terms of, like, human motivations and, like, thinking about them as real people are definitely not the King of Elfland or his daughter or the witch Zorandel or anybody who gets particularly big names. It's smaller characters. It's the leather worker. It's the two hunters.
Yeah.
The two hunters, I think, are really interesting.
Yes.
To compare and contrast, Oth and Threll are a really interesting duo. It's the band of madmen. It's the child who meets a troll and decides not and manages to evade a kidnapping by jam.
Yes.
Like it's these small things that I think wind up being the more interesting and more human characters. Whereas
this is the human element. The plot writ large is
it's too big.
Not at all. Yeah, it's too big.
It's too big, and it is interesting to see this as a fantasy from like a modern fantasy perspective. That particularly if you play like video games, right?
Yes.
Like this is the thing I always say about Warcraft writing. That Warcraft writing, everything's too big.
Yes.
But in Warcraft also everything dies all the time. There's so much death. And in this, one person commits violent acts. One person kills other people. And he kills 3, arguably 4 people, depending on what your stances are about being brought back from death.
Yes.
0 people if you're a real dick about whether or not somebody having a soul is important. But he kills 4 elf guards, and one of them gets revived later. And this is the only like murder that happens in the story.
Yes. There's very little violence in general. Like that's it, right?
I mean, unless we count, it depends on how you count hunting, right?
Sure. Yes.
Depends on your feelings about hunting. But it's a very the people die, but they mostly die of old age.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Like there's 2 elements of this story that I am like as I get older, I notice whether or not a story includes them at all. Is do people die of old age? And do people get old in general, actually? And are there children? Right? Like, are there, like, does reproduction happen?
Yeah.
And it's something that, it feels insanely obvious in a story about kingship over time that having children's an important part of it. Feels almost trivially obvious, but yes. I feel like I watch a lot of fantasy stories where there's a lot of like talk about kingship, but the question of like heirs and lineage are like really abstracted out.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, think about Lord of the Rings, for example, right?
Yes.
We never meet we meet Aragorn, son of Arathorn, but we don't meet Arathorn.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I don't know, to some degree, like Lord of the Rings, this is a whole separate. I think Lord of the Rings is not really much of a story about kings at all, right? This is sort of a thing that exemplifies that. Right?
Oh yeah.
Like this is sort of like the movies, like they emphasize this, but like this is really kind of the B plot, right?
It's
like,
true. It is the B plot. You're correct that it is the B plot. Yeah, it is very much the B plot. The A plot is about hobbits going on an adventure.
It is about the strength of the humble, right?
Yeah.
The strength of the meek. Something like this. I don't know. So to some degree, like that in that sense, right? The de-emphasis on the traditional trappings of kingship, those being lineage, right? This kind of thing, right? Of course, it's mentioned, but it's not emphasized as much, right? Like you don't like this is. Like you kind of even just reading the text of Lord of the Rings, like you don't get a great sense of like, you kind of have some sense of Aragorn's claim, right? But like it's not really, it's very abstract, right? Oh well, he's this distant descendant of the kings of New whatever, right? It doesn't, it's not really an important element. Where and that sort of does serve to de-emphasize, right? It's not a story about kings, it's a story about, humble folk, right? Like about people who live in holes, right? And and enjoy good living, right? Like it's and the courage that comes with that, and the strength that comes out of that.
We're about to go into ads, but I'm going to talk a little bit about a really interesting and weird article I read a while back. There was the political economy of the Shire.
Yes.
And it's...
I think I may have seen this, actually.
Yeah, it's a good article. It's a fun article. Where the author kind of points out, like, so the Hobbits, the Shire is all based on rural England, right? What is the actual political structure of that? And, like, just look at the actual names and titles of the characters. Don't just assume that because they're hobbits, they're all peasants. But Sam's a peasant. Yes. Of a sort. He's not even a real peasant. He's a skilled laborer. He's a coarse man. He's a common man. The other 3 hobbits are aristocrats.
Yes,
they're minor aristocrats. And I thought that was just like a really interesting point about like this is like the Shire per on hobbits per the on hobbits section has this kind of political economy that's very similar to rural England. That he would have been very familiar with because that's what Tolkien's academics was on. was on
Yes.
literature from that era and that period, and that area,
And
I should say. And it's interesting to look at that, to look at through that lens. That,
yeah, and even in this microcosm, right?
Yeah.
The theme is writ large, because who is sort of the heroic character among the hobbits? Well, it's Sam, right?
Sam
It's,
feels the most heroic to me. I'll say that
right?
much.
I think even in the like, this is almost the text of the thing, right? Like Sam is the traditionally like heroic kind of character, right? Like and ultimately is the driver of like the, you know, like
Frodo is the one who gets all the credit, but Sam is the one who actually carries Frodo.
he's the one who does the thing, right?
Yeah.
Who does the difficult task and returns and completes the hero's journey or whatever, and like get, you know, like returns to the place of origin and lives a good life. And like this is the I think and this is just like a smaller like Sam within the hobbits and the hobbits within the context of the larger world, right? Like
All right. We are going to get hit by ads, so
Yes.
apologies, chat. I will grab the article, Blue, and I'll post it while we're on break. But see you all in a few minutes. And we're back. And we're back. Oh, I walked off camera. There we go. There we go.
Hello.
Yes. So yes, this. Yeah. Where were we? Where were we?
Where were we? Even
Where
on
were
this
we?
VT?
I guess we were kind of talking about like how kind of like the positions of people in this society of the book,
Yes.
I keep wanting to say Earth, but it's not. The Earl, like the way that the people of Earl kind of like relate to each other, and the ways in which it's kind of both real and unreal.
Yes.
Right.
And hobbits too.
The hobbits.
This was the comparison.
Hobbits is the comparison, but but we're less talking about Tolkien here than we are talking about Dunsany.
Yes.
That it's
the common people have a bit more reality to them.
They have a bit more reality to them, and it's kind of interesting that like they have the more reality to them, and they're clearly the more sympathetic and often more reasonable people.
Yeah,
but they're also the idiots.
Yes, they're people. They're people of the earth, right? They're people of the fields we know, right? And there's a little more unreality, right? Well, I guess we don't really know, like, well. Yes, as we sort of get closer to like the top of the social hierarchy here, people have more and more of this kind of, the fairy about them, the unreality of Elfland, right? Like the Parliament encourages this, perhaps foolishly, right? And then it's sort of like despite like the old kings sort of how do you say? The old king is not exactly like a down to earth character, right? The old king is not like a salt of the land, like real person either, right? It's already kind of caught up in this unreality of and then of course it only exasperates from there, and eventually it's all kind of, it encompasses everything. But like there's sort of this like trickling down of the unreal from the top.
Yes, true. That's true. That's actually a good point, because like that's probably part of the reason why like the way that this plays out is not like a merger of two crowns. It's which it could have been, right? It could have been like a personal union through Alvarec and Larazel. Like it could have been.
It's not a political merger, right? It's a different kind of thing, right?
Well, it's a takeover. It's a total takeover. Yeah. It's a unilateral takeover. This is not like the king of Earl is no more as a position. The king of Orion is the last king of Earl because Elfland annexes it.
There is no Earl, right? Like it's
just part of the Elfland domain. Completely, just completely one-sided. No consent or anything. It's just
I mean there is consent in the sense that the people at the very beginning ask for a magic lord, right?
That's true.
This is perhaps like this is the clearest maybe like fable like element of the whole thing, right? Like I mean they got what they asked for, right? This is I think a common theme in these kinds of things, right? A foolish request answered faithfully, but in a way that is unintended, right? This is kind of a classic thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean that's also part of it being fairy, of course, right? Like that's a huge part of it.
Huge fairy trope, yeah.
Like the unintended consequences.
Yes.
The unintended consequences of you want something. They want magic. They want fame, and what they get is magic, but obscurity. Right, they get to be famous in the sense that they get to be the subject of this whole book that Dunsany writes, but they don't get to be famous in the sense that they have any.
They have great mortal works, right? Yeah. Like it's yes.
And so it's very cool in that sense that like there's this very unintended consequence. And it's something. There's something about that, like. The unreality is creeping in. Have you played Signalis?
I have not played Signalis, but I've watched quite a lot of Signalis.
Okay, Signalis is like really sticking in my brain. It's one of my favorite games I played recently. And
it's wonderful.
The unreality seeping into reality is.
Yeah. Signalis sort of has this, is perhaps a descendant of this, right? In a way, right? Signalis sort of has this like strong like. I don't know, like what's the, I'm trying to remember. Signalis has like this King in Yellow kind of element, right?
Yeah, King of Yellow is an
This,
explicit reference point. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And this is sort of from like the world of the pulps and the world of of Lovecraft and Smith and Howard and all of this stuff, right? Like the and like there's sort of a lineage from this to that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, there very much is. I think that some of it's indirect, right? There's obviously an indirect lineage of like all things fantasy wind up kind of like there's a tradition, right? There's a tradition to it, a discipline, and that tradition and discipline goes through this work.
Yeah,
it goes through.
I think even like I don't know, like there's a sense in which like I think there's a particular sort of like this ethereal character that we've talked about a few times regarding this. Like I think this in particular has, I feel like, a direct like kind of like the unknowability of this thing, right? Like the particular way in which that is expressed, right? Like this very I think there's a strong current of this in like in Lovecraft and in these other things, right? Like not even necessarily just like, oh, this is a inspiration indirectly, right? I think this current is maintained, right? Like this current of like using like I don't know how to precisely define it, but I felt that way reading it, right? Especially rereading it. I feel like there's like this. There's something about it, right? It's hard to place, right? Maybe an eeriness, right? There's sort of like this. You can trace it. It feels like you can follow that path through.
Well, it's
impermanence.
Impermanence. Well, I think that you hit the nail on the head earlier with an insight you had. I think it's really, really good. That this isn't really a fairy tale, right? Like this is not actually a this is not in reality, this is not in actuality a old story.
Yeah.
This is a new story. This is a modern story. And this is significantly different, right? That's significantly different, and the way in which that plays out for us as viewers, as readers, I should say.
Yes,
I think that matters. And I think that's part of what makes this work so resonant.
Yeah,
because
there's an awareness in it, right?
Yeah.
There's an awareness of the idea of a fairy story in it, right? Like this is like you obviously, right? Like there's this kind of like, and it's not just purely like a pastiche, right? Like there's like it's kind of like a, I don't know, the word deconstruction is really like, and it's not that, right? The word deconstruction is extremely overplayed, but it's sort of like has a little bit of this element, and like it's a weird twist on a fairy story, right? There's a weirdness to it and a strangeness, right? And this comes through in the moral elements that we talked about earlier, right? And in the like it's presenting itself as it's the mask of a fairy story over something else, right? It's like this mask of like this traditional fable, morality play sort of thing over just like something that's very, very unreal itself, right?
Yes.
Like it's almost like Elfland is, to be very lame about it, right? Like it's it's the invading force of Elfland into the real world, right? Into like as a work of fiction, right? That's kind of what it is of the unreal, right? You read it expecting something like, fundamentally, what is more human than a fairy story, right?
Yes.
What is more a part of the fields we know than a story like this, some sort of cautionary warning tale about like, right? But you read it expecting that, and you get something else, right? It serves you up something else entirely, and that's I think it's like, but that it sort of makes the form of the thing match the contents of the thing a little bit in a really satisfying way, and just I don't know.
I think there's a really satisfying way in which those things are matching up, in that the way that so what the story is kind of about is about bridging this world between fairy and the mundane.
Yes.
But in the same way, a lot of like what the story has functioned as within the literary field is as a bridge between older heroic romances that are actually part of the medieval era and modern fiction writing.
Yes.
And you know, the conclusion that Dunsany comes to is like this like complete swallowing up of this total swallowing up of normal reality by fairy tale logic. It's total swallowing up. But what we see in the we can see here that like he is living at a time, right, of early fascism.
Yes.
This is the time of early fascism, and fascism is as an ideology, as a practice, as a cultural moment, it's obsessed with tradition, but also obsessed with modernity.
Yes.
And the possibility of it as tradition swallowing over modernity, which would not really have been the concern at his point, because this would have been the early 20s, so that's more like the Italian futurists. Hitler's a minor character in history at this point, but the Italian futurists were major characters at this point. And so this question of like conservative tradition and the older magic kind of swallowing over mundane reality. There's something to that. There's something, I think, to expressing his anxiety. I'm not trying to, like, again, this is even more so. This doesn't feel like a parable element to it. It feels more like a.
No, I think there is something interesting with the comparison to the futurists, right? Like I think there's something like a theme that I sort of was thinking about. This was a shower thought. I was like, I'm not even sure if I'm going to like the. I feel like there's a certain sense in which the unreality and the magic in this are almost allegorical for. It's not it's like a, you know, this like it's a technology sort of thing, right? It is kind of like a there's strong connections sort of made like between like a lot of fantasy works kind of like present this contrast between technology and magic or things like this, or like that, which is that's not really present that much here, right? It's almost always like a synthesis of the two. They're almost always like they're complementary things, right? They're not something that is, these are not opposing forces. And there's probably is a sense where like, I don't know, this is sort of a the overtaking of all things, like in this way. This sort of is a futurist theme, right, to some degree, right? Like the I don't know, the big thing I always think of with I'll have to do a closer reading of, like, again, I don't think this is actually something that's like, I don't know, present authorially in the work, right? But like I think it's something that like is maybe interesting to write about. There's like, I don't know. So the thing I always think of with relation to the futurists is depiction of speed, right? Depiction of great speed in art, right? This is kind of like the technological theme of the era, right?
That's actually really, and speed is important in this one.
Yes, and the retracting border. This is something that's maybe like pursuing something that through magic / technology / both is fleeing faster than you can chase, right? These are themes that are maybe you could glean.
That's a good point. That's really fascinating. That's really good. I like that a lot. That's really good. Because like the only time we really see things being portrayed as particularly fast are the growing and receding of Elfland borders, right?
Yes.
So, like the Elfland can move very fast, but the human world moves very slowly because Elfland is kind of like outside of time. Right, Elfland is outside of time.
The technological future is always evading the grasp of our humble human ambitions. I don't know about that though. I don't know about that.
Oh, no, this is a fascinating way of looking at it. And again, like where does Dunsany fit into this, right? Like he's at the early stages. At this point, this is the early stages of that interwar era. He's hanging out with like Yeats, who's like a fascist.
And I think Yeats is very much not a futurist, right?
No.
Yates is in a different. Yates is
in the fascism that we're much more familiar with. It's much more normal to us.
I mean, Yeats is the kind of character who like. we were talking a little bit about the relationship with Christianity in the work, right?
Yeah,
This is a time for paganism in Ireland, right?
Yeah.
Or at least the aesthetics of paganism in Ireland. And Yeats is a major, and I mean Dunsany, right? Like he kind of has flirtations with this in other works, right? Like the Gods of Pagana is kind of a big work where he discusses pantheons and all. Like there's clearly like an interest in this sort of thing, and it's in the air at the time, so it does make some of that interesting kind of conversation that it has with Christianity a little bit. I don't know. It does stand out a little bit.
It does. No, I'm on board with this. This is a cool angle. This is a very cool angle to the book that I hadn't really thought about very hard. And again, like Dunsany, I think is at an awkward place, right? Because Dunsany is, I think it would probably be fair to say that he's like a small c conservative.
Yeah,
he's a small.
It comes across, I think, like, of course, we can't know about anyone in history, but he comes across as someone who's, like, I think I said this earlier, as someone who's politically unconcerned, has the luxury of unconcern, right?
Yeah.
This is explicitly a luxury, of course, but like he has the position in life to not care, right?
Yes.
And some would this is perhaps a conservative position in itself, right? Mm-hmm. But I think this definitely like defines the thing, right? Because like there is a theme of, I mean, what is more fairy than not caring, right?
Yeah.
This is the most fairy thing of all, to be unconcerned with mortal,
to have your concerns be kind of orthogonal to the materialists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
to be concerned. Yeah, exactly. To burn the thigh bone of the materialist to make a magic sword, right? Like this is,
Oh, this is a cool as hell angle. No, this is, and yeah, he's kind of outside of the world as we see it, as a person, right? He's kind of an outsider to the concerns that I have about the world, and the concerns that COLONQ has relayed from his own life. And it's interesting to see this play out, and to see how this kind of like plays out in what fairy is, what Elfland is in the story, how Elfland makes sense to the people in it, and to the people outside of it, right? Because it's very much about the people outside of it. It's very, very much the people outside of it, and the oh my goodness, it's super, man. I don't even know how to follow up on that, because I'm just like oh my goodness, that's so cool. That's the speed thing is such a cool little insight into this. And
yeah, like I would definitely like I don't know. This would be a good blog post, right?
Yeah,
because you have I think of this in very I instantly think of it. Oh, like we could put the cool picture of the funny trains. Like this is like I don't know. But I really would reiterate that I don't think this is a. I think this is a thing, like a fertile ground for fun analysis, and for as a springboard for some kind of
exploration,
political for exploration. I don't think this is actually present in the text.
I don't know if I think that there's I think it's got a presence, but I don't think it's got like an easily resolved truth. I don't think there's going to be a definitive answer here, which is suitable for the type of work it is, right? That it defies having simple definitive answers. We have some simple definitive answers, but most of the time we don't. Most of the time we've got like complicated elements. We've got confusion, and we've got a lot of We've got a lot of what's the word I'm looking for here? A lot of ambiguity and a lot of uncertainty, a lot of alienness, right? Like we're talking about, I guess like talking about like 20s futurist is also kind of on brand for this, right? That like the other reality of this, the other way of looking at this is like a very like very materialist lens for considering the place of fascism in world history and the place of conservatism in political conservatism in world history. It doesn't really, the battle lines aren't clear in 1924. They're vague. There are definitely some people who called it, who are fucking right, but they're a minority. They're a very small minority. Most people were really uncertain how things would shake out.
Yes.
This is the point where the possibility of the Weimar Republic being toppled by Soviet agents is like a real concern, which is obviously not what happened in the long run.
Yes.
And so this consideration of speed and change and how it fits in with the 20s, and again, I don't think this is a thing where like there's an allegory. I just think there's a place where Dunsany smelled something in the air.
Yeah. If only we could ask.
If only we could. We do have writers who wrote down their thoughts on this. I don't think we have it for Dunsany. I don't think we have his particular thoughts.
Yeah, I mean Dunsany did write a whole lot though. I have not read. I've mostly only read his fiction.
I kind of only read like an author's letters when I'm like, when it's like it's so like authors who I kind of know like their background letters from. Lovecraft, because they're actually kind of funny. And they come up all the time, and like litigating Lovecraft's internal brain is like half of what people do on the internet, it seems. J.K. Rowling, because she's dumping them on your doorstep. Tolkien, because I thought they were interesting enough, and like somebody pointed out something interesting in his writing, so I did actually dig into those a little bit. And Anna Kavan, because I'm kind of obsessed with Anna Kavan. And that's like it. Like I think
I like these things sometimes, right? I think they're interesting, but like I would say like I'm enough of a casual reader, right? That for me, we've been talking about this for hours now, right? Yeah. But like for me, the appeal and the goodness of The King of Elfland's Daughter, largely was that it's like, oh, it's a nice little story.
It's a nice little story. Yeah,
It made me feel good and nice, and I like the way that the words are. Right. That's and for me, this has become my typical engagement with books. Right. This is and I'm pleased with that now. I like this. Right. I'm much happier. I like when the book is good.
And this is my frustration as somebody coming from like the lit fic and like the sociological analysis side of things is I don't think that concepts can absolve or change a book's like core writing quality. Like if a book is well written or poorly written, it's just well written or poorly written.
This is something independent of content, right? I think this is like prose is something almost like, I don't know, brush control in paint. I don't know anything about painting, but it's something like this, right?
Well,
like,
I mean,
it's a technical talent.
I mean, in coding. Well, okay, I might show my ass here, right? I might make myself look very much the fool here. Cleanliness and good commenting are not the same as like, does the code run or not? Or like what features the code have?
Architecture is distinct from functionality. This is 100% true.
Okay. I didn't embarrass myself too badly,
right? And one thing can help carry the other thing a little bit.
Absolutely.
But like it's they are distinct. They're distinct. I think.
I tend to think the causality is that I think it's hard to write really well if you're not being really honest with yourself. Not impossible, but I think it's harder. I think you're adding difficulty to yourself. You're hampering yourself, and it's very hard to not have thoughts about important issues around you.
Yeah, and it's difficult, notably, it's hard to write good prose without some kind of substrate, without a plot, right? It's possible, right? There are things that like, I don't know, what's an example of something that has, maybe less of an obvious like Finnegan's Wake or something.
Finnegan's Wake is a very non-obvious book. It's a very opaque one right there.
Finnegan's Wake, right? You can get appeal from the prose of Finnegan's Wake. With no conception of the plot, right? The hypothetical plot, right? You can crack open Finnegan's Wake and you can read something and be like, damn, that's pretty cool. That's good. Yes. But it's good purely on its form, right? A lot of the time, if you're missing the context. I actually have a funny when I have not attempted the Wake in its entirety. I feel like this is a project that demands like 10 years of retirement or something like this. I don't know. But like I had a really fun moment that is always like it's something that it's a treasured moment for me where I listen to a lot of Irish folk music.
Right.
I always have, and there's a song that it's kind of a fun little folk song called Miss Fogarty's Christmas Cake.
Right.
Where they're talking about all the things that are in this inedible Christmas cake, right? There's plums and prunes and cherries and citrons and raisins and cinnamon and like all this stuff, right? And when I was a freshman in college, I was just fucking around and I flipped open Finnegan's Wake, and I read a little passage, and of course most of it is I'm not gonna it's incomprehensible mostly.
Yes, yeah.
Right? Like
it's one of the densest.
It's gibberish, right? Like it's not like there's meaning to it, but like I flipped open to a random section and I was reading the thing. I started reading it and I was just reading it like phonetically, and it was the ingredients in the cake in the song Miss Fogarty's Christmas Cake, but presented in like this very non-obvious way. Like it was like a phonetic. Like I had to pronounce the words to know.
Incredible.
And I looked that up online and I couldn't find anything about it, right? And I couldn't point you to it if I tried, but like that moment has like stuck with me as like this is what prose can give us, right? Or something like that. Like it's I'll remember that until I die, I think. Like yeah.
Divorce Jones just made your emote look so smug.
Yeah,
and also welcome in.
Divorce Jones. Also.
welcome in.
If I could guess anyone is an avid fan of the Wake, I would guess Divorce Jones. Divorce Jones is extremely cultured in these things. Also a fan of. Okay, this is a brief segue.
Yeah.
I apologize. Do you know about Project Xanadu?
I know more than one project that is Project Xanadu, so you got to help me
yes.
Because
Project Xanadu I'm referring to, this is sort of like a precursor to the internet, like an early hypertext kind of thing that would probably be interesting. I won't get into the whole details. It'd probably be interesting to check out. It's a very like historically interesting thing, and a lot of ideas in this time are like, I don't know, relevant to today still. And yeah, okay. Anyway, this is it. I don't mean to go too far afield.
No, you are welcome to. No, you're welcome to. This is a cool one. That's I googled because I have that type of ADHD.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. That's very, very cool. I am kind of impressed with this one. And I'll admit my first thought when I hear Project Xanadu is the abandoned mall in New Jersey. New Jersey mega mall.
That's an ambitious name for a mall.
Oh, that's why it's abandoned. They tried to make a mega mall in New Jersey, which admittedly Jersey has a lot of malls, but they didn't shoot themselves in the foot by choosing New Jersey, but did shoot themselves in the foot by making an ambitious mega project named Xanadu.
Yes,
that did not help them. But yeah, it's there's all of, I do think that's I mean, to talk about art more generally, I do think that art that is primarily texture is still very valuable. I mean, you say you don't listen to music. I mostly listen to like post rock. Yes. And like synthwave and like meandering noodly jam stuff that like has no purpose and like no real structure to it, and that is like very, in a way, very disposable.
I have a recommendation maybe that I wonder if you've heard this. There's an album by an artist called Elder. Called the Gold and Silver Sessions. The Gold
and Silver Sessions, or the
Gold and Silver Sessions. If you YouTube search this or something, you'll.
All right.
And this maybe fits your taste.
Good art. Good art.
Yes.
Really into this art. Though that did not take me much. I'm into the art. I'm into this art. But yeah, it's. I think that there's definitely a place for that. And like again, I'm a huge fan of Doom, right? I would struggle to tell you what Doom is about. There's elements to it that I can place in history that make it make more sense, like the Satanic Panic, right?
Yeah,
it's like a clear influence on the mindset of the makers of Doom. They're clearly responding to the Satanic Panic and mocking it.
Have you read Masters of Doom?
I have not. I feel like fucking got it.
I would strongly recommend.
I feel like I'm a poser about everything. I feel like I'm such a poser.
I read it once when I was in high. Well, I mean, for me, it's a different thing because it's like. It motivates me to program. It makes me want to make things, right? Yeah. But like, I think it's an extremely good book. I read it once in high school and once again recently, and it's so good. The strongest recommendation possible.
Okay. See, that was the sort of thing I was half expecting you to do when I asked you to do this one.
Yeah. No. Like, I like fiction a lot.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
My first choice, which I thought was like, I don't know, this is maybe too weird for. Another book that I like a whole lot is there's a book called The Ice Palace by a Norwegian author, Tarjei Vesaas, who is my favorite poet.
Okay.
And that was choice number one.
No. So far nobody has overshot on being too weird. Iris is so far the record holder, having chosen the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is just so That's insane. Powerful. What an incredible choice. No. Nothing is too weird. There are books that I would not want to do that I might shoot down if somebody told them to me, but they'd be like, I mean, I think you can figure out what they are just reading between the lines. I think you can figure out some of the it's a short list of books that I would be like, no. But there's not a lot of them. It wouldn't be by being too weird. It would be by being too shitty.
Yes, we're not here discussing, I don't know, Twilight of the Idols or whatever.
Yeah, the obvious one, the first one I thought of would be like Protocols of the Elder Design. I'm not doing that.
Yes,
I'm not doing that. You're not going to get me to read that shit. And Twitch is certainly not this format is far too frivolous for
it's not the
place.
You can't give it the right treatment.
Yeah, no. I couldn't do it this way.
Yes.
But yeah, no. This was a really cool one, and it is funny that like you came into this with this mindset of like this is a book about just like appreciating things at the surface level, but as we always unveil, there's always more, right?
There are yes, of course. There are currents running deep beneath the surface of the earth.
Yes,
Almantas VT.
Yes, absolutely.
We only have to find them.
Absolutely, no. Always.
Do you believe in ley lines?
No, but I do believe in calling 811 before you dig.
This is.
I think it's hard to make things that aren't serious. At some level, I think it's hard to make stuff that's like truly, to make something that's simultaneously good and frivolous.
Yeah,
I think is actually really difficult. I don't think that's like a thing that you can do straightforwardly or easily. Ley lines. Do you want to explain them as a concept?
I don't actually know very much about ley lines at all. But like something like a I don't know a. Yeah, you haven't heard of it. I mean, I think the concept is pretty like, I don't know, that there are invisible lines across the earth, and the intersection points of these lines are places of mystic power. Mm-hmm. I don't know about that, though. I think it might be true. I think there might be several right here now with us.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's an esoterica thing. It's a mysticism thing.
I don't know if they exist in the real world, but I'm sure they exist in cyberspace.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that though. Anyway, continuing.
I mean, you are the man in the computer, so you have to fear that a lot more than I do. You have a lot more to worry.
An enemy counterspell could just totally unmake me.
You could
be on my guard.
Yeah, you could put your tea kettle down at the wrong spot, and it just gets vaporized by a ley line that was programmed in the 1970s.
Yeah, exactly. They have to. You gotta stay posted up, as they say.
This is why commenting is so important. This is why it's so important to comment your code, is so that you don't accidentally vaporize people with errant ley lines.
Something like this.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, this has been a blast.
It's been a pleasure, Almantas. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for indulging all of my weird bullshit.
If you got more weird bullshit, I just kind of ran out of things to say briefly for a moment. But if you got more weird bullshit to drop on me,
I always have. I have an infinite supply of weird bullshit. But like, I think this is a suitable amount for now.
This is a suitable amount for now. I think. I think we can contemplate. This has been wonderful. I would love to have you on again. I can contemplate doing this again at another time.
Of course, I like books. I like books a lot. There are quite a few people on Twitch who are book fans that I know.
Yes. I was not confident about this idea for for like a collab series, and so far most people I've talked to have been very enthusiastic. I've never gotten somebody who's been like, "This is stupid." I've gotten people who have said they don't read enough books and they don't feel like they've got anything in mind. I've even got one person who reads too many books and can't narrow it down. They're just like overwhelmed with it, and I'm like, whenever you come up with something. But I do feel I was talking with who was I talking with about this? Oh, Rinnies. I was talking with Rinnies, an artist, about this recently. That one of those things that we streamers get into is we all kind of turn into jocks a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably gonna run a 5K after this.
Oh boy, I'm the opposite. I've become, I live in a cocoon of wires. Right, I do not leave my house anymore.
But do you get exercise?
No.
Oh damn. Okay, never mind.
No, not at all.
I feel
need to start more.
I feel I feel like most streamers I know, like they start to work out more because you get so much stimulus from computer that like your brain starts to seek out.
Yeah, I could never have too much. I'm probably on the computer more than I ever have been in my whole life, and in some points in my life, I've been on the computer 16 hours a day, and I think we are full on computer. But no, we should. I agree with this, that this impulse is present, and I used to be a pretty serious runner. I used to run like 5Ks and 8Ks and 10Ks quite a lot, and
I got a bit injured on the knee earlier, so I had to slow down for a while. So for a while I was doing 70 kilometers a week.
Oh dear, Joe, that's quite a schedule. Oh my god.
Yeah, I was in 70.
I see shouting out Alfland. I know Alfland pretty well.
Yeah. Somebody said that I'm the only. Two people have said that I'm the only jock, and it's like,
yes.
I'm not even the most jock.
A genuine jock.
I'm not even the most. I'm just an old guy in the geezer brigade at the run.
Yes,
I'm just trying to keep moving because like you spend so much time with friend computer and like it becomes job, and then it's like I need to do something with my brain that's not friend computer.
I've been telling myself that I need to get back into things before I'm approaching the age where I have to care a little bit more. I'm 27 now, so as we enter the 30s, I feel like it's time to start. Let's get
the earlier
again.
you get started, the better. The earlier you get, it doesn't have to be running. Just something to get your heart rate up. Something to get your heart rate up a little bit. No. I mean, books is a similar thing. I'm just saying, books is a parallel that like people. Yeah. When you game all the time, video games become more work-like and less fun-like.
Yes,
and then books
until you
become
discover Void Stranger, and then it will fix you. It will fix you, Almantas VT, as well. I don't even know what problems you have, but it will fix them.
We'll find out. Yeah. We'll find out what problems we've got.
It'll fix any problem. It's well, anyway. I won't speak too much on it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, COLONQ. I'm going to just make a very brief announcement to the channel. Very quickly about myself before you get your pluggables in order, COLONQ. Before I do this. So you get yourself ready for the pluggables. People get surprised when I'm like, you need to plug yourself. They get shocked, like, oh no, I didn't know that a collab would involve self promotion. Yes. Like, what did you think was going to happen here, my friend? But I am doing a subathon starting Monday.
Yes,
it is. It is exciting. It is exciting. I am ready for most of these. I'm some of these I'm not ready for, but most of these I'm ready for. I'm excited to do this. It's my first time doing something like this. It will helpfully pay off some of the dental work I just got, and maybe even get me a new computer. We'll find out. We'll find out. I
hope it is wonderful.
I hope it is wonderful. I hope it is exciting.
It exceeds expectations.
Yes. And it gives me an excuse to not do anything for Halloween, something that I tend to avoid doing anything for. But yes. What have you got for us, Mr. COLONQ?
Oh yes, pluggables. I would encourage you to go to twitch.tv/AlmantasVT and click the follow button on that user and like and subscribe and all such things. Right. This is what you should do. I'm LCOLONQ. I'm around. You'll see me. Right? I'm on here. I'm on the computer enough. God knows.
Yeah, you're on the computer a lot.
So we'll see each other again. It's faded.
Absolutely.
It's faded by destiny.
No, you're in my chat. I'm in your chat. We're around.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Do you have a person you would like me to raid?
Oh, we have people online. Who could be online? Actually, someone I just saw just went offline. Let me see if there's anyone. I have a little Twitch team.
Okay.
That's one thing I like to plug, but no one is online.
No one is online. They're out, it's Saturday. They're at the club.
Oh, wait a second. I know.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, they're all at the club. They're yeah. Do you know Hazmat VT?
I kind of know Hazmat VT. We want to send us over to Hazmat?
He's doing they're a dear friend of mine, and they're doing a birthday subathon right now. And I'm sure they would love some love.
Okay. Let me go make sure I spell it completely correctly, because that's a very embarrassing way to end things.
That's the one.
And those should be my default raid messages, unless somebody's got a better idea. If somebody's got a better idea for a raid message, actually, I think I do have a better. Comfy. Let's go with comfy. COLONQ's fantasy raid.
COLONQ's fantasy. Oh yeah. Oh dear. We're getting into deep dark fantasies here.
Yeah, your deep dark fantasy of a wandering around the wilderness with madmen while looking for your wife that you don't like very much.
I wish it was my fantasy. It's my real life.
I'm pretty sure you like your wife very much. So
yeah. Damn.
that does cut it off at the knees. But yes. I had a lovely time with you, COLONQ. Thank you for coming by.
This was great, dude. Thank you so much. It's cool. I'm sorry to people. I'm not actually a snob. I'm playing. I'm I like being silly online. I like being silly online.
Yeah.
I love you. I love everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Big ups. Big ups to you. I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Read good books.
Read good books. Read good books and bad books. Read different books. Read them all and have opinions
and taste about them.
Have opinions. Learn to have opinions. Goodbye.